And we are live. What's good? What's good, everybody? It's your man DL Saint. Welcome to the show. So I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all. Part 2. Men versus males in America. Part 2. Thank y'all so much for coming out. I see the chat is already active. What's good, brother? Viking, what's good? Wonderful 34 already up in here. Appreciate that. As always, y'all gonna hear me check the mic real quick. So a special shout out to y'all. Let me get y'all the horn because y'all be rocking with a brother. Appreciate that. All right, everything's working. Just had to get it going. All right, now we can get this going. Get this cracking. You know, we when we left yesterday, we were talking about men versus males in America. I even went on Melanie King's show last night. Shout out to Melanie King. Shout out to Suzette Speaks. You know what I mean? And all the other content creators who rock with me. I was on her show last night. I even asked her what her thoughts were on men versus males today versus, you know, earlier in her life, you know what I mean? Like when she was younger, what were the men like in the past versus like the men are today? We might even pull that up and I'll share with you her response to that. But we're gonna kick it from where we were. Brother Doug's in the house listening from the clouds. I see you, bro. I see you. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate it. We're gonna get right back into it. As always, my brother Jswans is gonna join me on this one. So it's always good to have first of all a brother in arms, literally. You know what I mean? Because me and him served in the same unit in the Army, and you know, a loyal dude, honorable man. It's always good to have those type people with you, bro. For real. You know what I mean? Because it really does take a tribe, man. You can't. Those people out there like I'm just gonna be a lone wolf and do it all on my own. You really can't get it done. So without further ado, there he is. Jswans is in the house. What's good, bro?
Yo, what's good, man? I don't know why that makes me uncomfortable, but
I don't either. But I love watching you squirm, bro. Like, what the hell is that all about? I'm gonna keep doing it.
It's because my kids are grown and I don't like nobody else's kids. That's why.
They just sound like kids, bro. It's not like I got a kindergarten class here or anything like that, bro.
Got a whole tribe playing in the background, bro. I don't want nothing to do with that. All right,
man. Oh man. So yeah, man. This is a pretty good conversation, man. I've been getting a lot of feedback. People hit me up about this talk, man. And what I'm getting the most is people are saying this conversation needs to be had from coast to coast, north to south. You know what I mean? So it's not just us. For a moment there, I was thinking, is it just me? Like, what am I really seeing here? I mean, you know, how are you looking at it, bro?
No, I mean, I think it's something that needs to be out there. You know, I mean, obviously, you know, I'm looking at this YouTube stuff because, you know, you kind of put me on to it. So when I have nothing else to do and I'm sitting in the bathroom or something, you know, I go ahead and, you know, fire up a video real quick and just watch some of the stuff. And it's disappointing. You know what I mean? It really is. And I can see how
but in what way is it disappointing? Is it disappointing because this is stuff that, like you said, this should be common sense? What are we doing here?
No, well, exactly. It is. I mean, it should be common sense. And it's grown men. It's grown men going out there, you know, paying other grown men to get help on being a grown man. It's crazy. I mean, I talk to my sons about it. I really do. I talk to my sons about it, and they, you know, I asked them, and you know, they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. I never heard about nothing like that. And my youngest son, who's the hustler, you know, he's the one be holding money like it's, you know, be pitching a penny, making it cry. He was like, well, you know, so basically, if I go around and tell people to man up and they'll pay me money, I need to get in on that, you know.
Well, but again, like we're always saying, bro, like you have to remove it from your world, from your lens. Your sons were raised by a man. You were raised by a man. There are a lot of males out there who were at best raised by other males, but at worst they had zero contact with men, and that's where we are right now, bro. That's where that comes from.
It's frightening. I mean, it really is. Like I said, I watch some of these guys, even some of these guys, you know, the quote unquote, the hardcore red pill guys. And hold on, you know who he's talking. You know who I'm talking about. Because I asked how tall you were on a little chat one time because you was talking big, but you were a little boy. But no, I mean, up there talking about this is what it's like to be a man. It takes to be a man. But I'm like,
you a fool, by the way.
You ain't a man. You a sucker. Come on now. So you know, you just talking big for TV. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? What I said to do that.
I sure do. It's hilarious. He's not in the chat, but I'm sure he'll be ninja watching. You know what I mean? Brother Jason's in the house. What's good? I know exactly who you're talking about. That's hilarious. But you know, I did want to address the thing that you were saying. Like these males are out here paying money to learn how to be, paying other men to be, you know, learn how to be men.
You can't even say it right. You can't even say it right because it don't make no sense.
But here's the thing. I'm glad they're doing that as opposed to just accepting the world as their existence as it is and not trying to improve themselves. I think that I honestly believe if you recognize that there's a deficiency, that you should go get that sorted out. Now, you know, if you got to pay for it, you got to pay for it. But for those guys who are investing hard-earned money into guys that you think or whatever, make sure you vet those dudes. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like what Jswans was just saying. You know what I mean? There are guys out there that's like, yo, you know what I mean? Guys, they get questioned and they don't know what to do. It ain't nothing to do with your height per se. If you a short dude, I know a lot of short dudes who are monsters. But, you know, be careful who you invest that money in is all I'm saying. And make sure you're getting value.
You know, 3 or 4. Come on now. Just say it.
Yeah, I know quite a few. I know quite a few.
Yeah, we just kidding. But no, really, I mean, it's disappointing to see that out there. And, you know, like DL keeps telling me, like, step outside your bubble. You know, because I don't associate with weak dudes. I mean, I just don't. Like, it's not even in my orbit. You know, if I meet you and shake your hand, if you can't look me in the eye, you give me a weak handshake, I don't know. I move on. Not consciously. It's just kind of an unconscious thing. I just move on. So, I mean, maybe, you know, maybe I'm wrong for that. Maybe I'm wrong for judging people like that. But one thing I think we have gotten away from as men or as people in the society as a whole is we've gotten away from listening to our instincts. We don't trust our instincts anymore.
Ooh, elaborate on that, bro.
Yeah, you know, and my instincts tell me that something ain't right. You know what I mean? I don't fuck with it. That's just who I am. You know, and that's gotten me where I am today. And I like where I am. I like who I am. I like where I am. So, I mean, I trust my instincts.
That's real talk. You know what I mean? Especially in a combat environment, instincts will keep you alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You look at Captain Winters, what made him such an effective leader, what made him such a great leader was his instincts. He had excellent instincts. And you probably find that trait with every great leader in history, throughout history, going all the way back to the beginning of time.
You know, definitely. You know, a lot of cats might not know who Captain Winters is, though. You know, they
Go
should.
find out. Go find out. Band of Brothers, HBO. Go watch it. Go read the book. Go find out who he was.
Yo, I tell you that I think the best advice you ever gave to my son before he left was like, go be a leader like Captain Winters. You know, he went and watched that whole series multiple times and asked a ton of questions about Captain Winters. Like, how did he know to do this? And how did he trusted his gut?
Instincts.
Trusted his gut. You know, and that's how, you know, my wife and I have lived our lives, and we've made mistakes and we've made great moves, you know, and to this day, like one of the rules we have with our home, you know, my wife says it all the time. Like, you know, I'll say, you can't come into my home unless I feel like I can leave $100 bill on the table and it'll be there when I get back, you know.
And what he means by that, y'all, he's talking about visitors. You're not allowed into Jswan's home if his instinct says that he can't trust you not to take $100 bill that's laying on the table.
Yeah. And that's real. That's how we operate, you know, or my wife will say, you know, so-and-so's got bad energy. I don't want them over. But what it comes down to basically is you don't come into my house unless you're family, unless we look at you like we're family. And I mean, and it's to the point where, you know, we've had people come over our house to sell us stuff or contractors. And we'll be like, no, you can sit out here at the table. We can talk out here because we don't want that in our home. It's our instincts are telling us, nah, this person ain't right. And I think a lot of us have gotten away from it. And I think part of being a man is learning how to trust your instincts. Your instincts will tell you when something is wrong or something is right. You know not to kick a puppy. Nobody's ever told you don't kick no puppy. You know, I mean, I refuse to believe that anybody's actually sat somebody down and said, don't kick a puppy. But you know not to do. Your instincts are telling you not to do that. It's a wrong thing to do. So I mean, just like your instincts will tell you, don't run on the freeway. You don't run in front of a car. So listen.
Unfortunately, down here in Florida, people don't listen to their instincts because they get whacked every day on Freeway 19.
That's what happens
every single day.
That's what happens when the family tree goes straight up and doesn't branch off. But,
oh my goodness. Like these people. But so on the video, we were watching How to Be More Masculine. It was 5 key qualities to master. And we left off on number 3, which was honor.
Yeah.
So we'll pull that back up and we'll start from honor. And it's funny. I hope like when you guys watch this, you watch it now, watch it in a replay. I mean, I really hope you guys are talking this over with your team, with your crew, with your tribe, with your family. I really do. I hope you're talking to young men and young women about this. You know what I mean? Because women need to know how to choose a good man. You hear all these people complaining. I know you got something to say about this, Jswans. But there's so many women out there complaining that there aren't enough good men. I would argue that these women are consistently choosing the wrong guy. You're choosing these weak males as opposed to men. So, and why is that? Who is responsible to teach these young women how to find and vet a good guy? I think it's the family, it's mom, it's the women in their lives, the men's in their lives, and you should have a man involved in that vetting process, ladies. You should have a guy involved to help you choose, because you're all goo goo gaga in love with this dude. Get some man to come in there and really see what kind of person he is. What are your thoughts on that, bro?
Don't just get some man, number one. Get some man that ain't trying to smash. Have your brother in there. Somebody that you have, your father. That's why, you bring these guys home to meet your dad. Have a man that you respect that's not trying to smash you, to vet them people. And as far as women making bad choices, I'm a firm believer on God gives what you need, not what you want. All right. And that inner monologue, people don't listen to. They don't.
What you're saying, that's instincts.
Yeah, that's your instincts. You know what I mean? Like God will give you what you need, not what you want. So I think for women, these good men come into their lives and they walk right back out because that's not what they want. I want this guy. I mean, think about it, like we talked about, like, with Naya, when I met her when she was in college, and her friends were like, oh, that's the Army guy. Don't date the Army guy. He's a loser. He ain't like all our frat brothers, blah, blah, blah. Those same girls are trying to holler at me back then. And now them girls are talking to Naya, talking about, I wish I could find somebody like Jay. You know what I mean? I almost caught myself. But I wish I could find somebody like Jay, because, I may have been an Army guy, but one, I'm not a stupid man. I wasn't a stupid kid. I had dreams, I had goals, I had vision, and I was trying to make things happen. I just needed that extra piece to make things happen.
Right. So, and they were in college saying that we were broke Army guys, but guess what? They were in college, they were broke. We were actually making more money than them. If it weren't for student loans and their parents, they would have been destitute. So I always thought that was weird. Like, we're out here getting real time experience, right, in our future trade, and learning how to be men. Out here in the field doing our stuff, and they're saying that we're the losers. I always thought that was different.
Yeah, we were losers. We weren't smart, that kind of thing. And that's the part that, they miss out on. That's being kids. They were kids just like we were kids. And the difference between us being kids and them being kids is, one, we were surrounded by a lot of older men. That was part of it. The other part is we had a lot more responsibility than they had. So we had to grow up quick. And I think those are the differences. And I was just reading Doug's thing about women know how to find a good man when they want stepdaddies for their children. I'm trying to understand what he means by that. I mean, is that a good thing he's saying, or is that a bad thing? Because I know
I think he's saying it's a bad thing. Women know how to find a good man when they want stepdaddies for their children. All right. So yeah, it's like, I see what he's saying. He was like, they don't really understand they need a good man until they make the mistake with the first dude. And then they're like, oh, I need a good guy, so let me get a good stepdaddy.
Yeah.
Well, why didn't you vet the daddy?
Because they're around, they're going to be around your kids, you don't want Romy roaming around the kids, bro.
Romy, the original player from the Himalayas.
That's real. You want Tommy around your kids. You don't want Romy roam. But if you're going out and you're trying to do things to be seen, most definitely you want Romy roam, So, that makes sense. And I think a lot of women miss that,
And it's like you said, because we have these broken homes, especially in the black community, you have these single parent homes, which normally means that the mom is raising the child. And there's one half of the vetting process is missing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if you don't live in the same home, like my daughter, I don't live with my daughter's mom, but we are still part of the extended family. You know, like my daughter's mom has a boyfriend. Well, I got to meet this man because my daughter's going to be around this man. And it was Jswans who was like, bro, what's wrong with you, man? You know you got to get over there and meet this guy. Yeah,
which is crazy because we both had the same thought, but we hadn't talked about it. You know what I mean? I spit that out right after you told me. I'm like, yo, you got to go meet this cat? That's like, going to be around your daughter, you know?
Like, absolutely. And I did meet him.
And we wasn't on that go meet him and flex on him. Like, nah, bro, you need to meet the man that's going to be around your daughter. You know what I mean? Any man that's willing to step in. I mean, look, dude, if you're willing to step into a relationship, a serious relationship with a woman that has a child, and you know you love this woman, and you're willing to do that, that's a lot of work. I mean, you got to deal with a lot if you're trying to do it the right way.
That's a ton of work. You talk about responsibility. You're taking on not only your responsibility, but you're taking on this woman and this child, which technically is someone else's responsibility. Yeah. Like you're taking that on as well. You know, and the red pill guys say you shouldn't do it. You know what I mean? I get where they come from, but if you're gonna be a man and you want to, if that's what you want to do as a man, do it. But just make sure you understand everything that goes along with that. If that relationship,
I mean, we don't know. I mean, like I said, we've never, you know, I mean, but that's a lot of work. I know if there's going to be another man around my child, you know, I need to step in there and know who that man is. And once again, I'm not stepping in trying to be disrespectful to that man. You know, I mean, there's a lot of brothers that for some reason they have this attitude of, you know, once I've had this Foxy Brown, it's my Foxy Brown forever.
Forever and ever.
You know what I mean? So they want to get in their feelings, which that's something else that, you know, sometimes as a man, you got to learn to get past that. Like, look, anybody that says that men ain't supposed to have feelings, they full of it. Okay, men got feelings just like women. Everybody got feelings. All right, it's how you act on those feelings, which determines how you behave as a man. You know, I mean, I've had ex-girlfriends that, you know, like that I broke up with or broke up with me, and they moved on, and I want to flex on these dudes because that's my girl or whatever. You know, when I was like 16, you know what I'm saying? When you were
still a male, you were still you were a man in training. And what I say about, you know, my thing about emotions is this. For anybody to say that men don't, you know, you have to be emotionless, we're humans. Emotions is part of the package. You as a man, you need to control said emotions. That's my thing. Control your emotions. As a male, these males are running around here like women. Women don't have to necessarily control their emotions. They can live in their emotions. That's fine. They move through it. It's like when it rains in Florida. It rains and it stops. And it's sunny.
Hold on. I know you're saying all this, but we're not women. So to us, them behaving like that is fine. Now to other women, you know, I'm just saying that because my wife walked by rolling her eye.
Hey, there.
You know, and so I mean, but we don't know what women go through. We don't know. That's their thing. I mean, that's their thing. We ain't even trying to get into it. But I do know that, like, you know, D and I, we've had our issues. You know what I mean? We've had our issues. We've gotten into it, but we handle ourselves like men. Like I respect him and he respects me. So we have our disagreements. We may not agree. You know what I mean? We may walk off and be like, fuck you, man. I ain't got time for you right now. But, and you know, and he mentioned this to me last night. We both know that we 30 years in, we always coming back. Our feelings. Yeah,
I told it to, like, you ain't going nowhere. You know, and I hate saying this word on camera, but we family here. Like, nigga, you ain't going nowhere. We 30 years in. You can't go if you want to go. You know what I mean? We know where the bodies are buried. We stuck with each other. You know what I mean? At this point.
Yeah, so we can be mad and get in our feelings or whatever, but that's not gonna control us. We're not gonna let that control us. We're not gonna let that control dealing with each other, and we're not gonna let that control how we function in society, because you know you can't get nothing done like that. You know, especially as black men, they looking for us to be out of control. They looking for the Asian black man narrative.
They're looking for a reason to lock us down or to shoot us. And that's 100%. The people out there think we're, you know, oh, that's just racial talk. It's not. I'm just being 100% with you. I can't tell you how many times I've encountered law enforcement, and I knew if I gave these officers an opportunity, they would kill me. I knew it. It wasn't even playing.
I got friends in law enforcement that have told me, they're what are you, like 6'4", 270? Yeah, we're not gonna mess around with you.
Are we shooting you? I mean?
These are my friends. So, and that's one thing back to my father growing up. As long as I can remember, that is a conversation he has always had with me. You're bigger and stronger than the kids your age. Be careful how you do this. Be careful how you do that. Don't try to be intimidating because naturally you are intimidating. Those sort of things. And that's part of those man conversations, because people think, well, being a man is you got to be ready to, you got to be ready to throw blows at any time. You got to be able to use them hands. Nah, being a man is being able to walk away.
Yes.
And when you have to use them hands, when someone puts you in a position where you got no choice, you finish it. That's the difference between being a man and a male to me.
If you get yourself into a fight, gentlemen, you've lost. You've already lost. Yeah. You know what I mean? Especially if it's not something that you set up. I mean, the last thing you want to do is get yourself into a conflict. You don't control every element of that conflict. So when you're out walking around, you don't and again, people have said this. You don't want to get into a fight. If someone's calling me names or whatever, all right, yeah, I'm a punk, whatever you say, you got it. I'm leaving, right? I know I'm on.
I'm gonna go get my luxury car. I'll be out. You right.
I'll be out. In those situations, 9.5 times out of 10, I'm armed. I don't want to engage. I do not want to deal with this. I don't. You know what I mean? It's like I'm no little guy. So I'm like, I know I don't look like a male. I'm not a sheep. I'm not a victim. So if somebody's coming at me, I'm like, bro, they have to have something that they feel is giving them the upper hand. Something that's in their mind. Like I don't control the situation. I don't know how many are there. I don't know what's going on. Let me get out of here. Now, like Jswan said, if I can't get away, then I got to do what I got to do.
Yeah, you got to finish it.
I got to finish it. But again, this is all parts of male and being a man. And this is something I work on every single day, constantly. I will purposely get in traffic just so I can force myself to stay calm. Like, why am I, somebody's tailgating me. You know what I mean? I don't want to, you right away that you feel that anger rush in you. You want to do something. It's like, wait a minute, bro. This going to escalate. Somebody's tailgating me or whatever, or slamming on their brakes in front of me or whatever, brake checking me. Did they jump out their car? It can escalate so fast. Yeah. So fast. And we're in a red state. Before you know it, stand your ground. Somebody, if you get into that situation, somebody jump out their car, run up on your car and start smacking on your car in this state, if you engaged in with your firearm, you probably get away with it.
No doubt.
Stand your ground. Well, the guy had a stick. The guy had this. He reached for something. And I want to stay away from that. So, but that's just to show you that there is you have to learn how to be a man. It's just not born. It's not instinctive. Someone has to teach you.
Well, part of it's instinctive, but okay, I think being a man is instinctive, but just like anything else, you have to work on those skills to improve them. Like that little boy you showed yesterday, the one that jumped and defended his sister. Nobody told him to do that. And that's what a man would do. He sees somebody that he loves in danger, and he put himself between that danger and that person. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. But I think the thing is, as you get older and the influences around you affect how you think, that's when it turns into like, they ain't got nothing to do with me. That kind of thing. Well, my sister should have known better. That kind of stuff. I think that's when it turns into that. The influences around you. So you need to ensure that you have the proper influences around you to help you learn how to make the right decisions. And I think that's where a lot of people I think that's where a lot of young males, to put it that term, are missing out. Because their whole world is video games and this and that. And they step outside and their circle is all video games, and they all step outside at the same time. And none of them knows how to react. It's the blind leading the blind.
That's what's up. So thank goodness for YouTube, because they can come over here and watch this show. I want to get back to the chat. Brother Muhammad's in here. Sister Candace in here. What's up, guys? How y'all doing? Especially Sister Candace. Thanks for popping in here. Brother Muhammad, good to be back here. Good to have you back here, brother. I'm glad you're here. Sister Candace is like, what's good to the chat? Brother Muhammad, you goddamn right. You got to make sure they provide for your child and make sure you can keep them safe.
Yeah, well, hold on. Let me pause that right there. Number one, it ain't your choice. So you ain't got to make sure nothing.
But he's talking about you still have to ensure that I want to try to just kind of give him a little help there. I think maybe he's saying you need to ensure that you are taking care of your responsibilities as the father of that child.
Yes.
And part of that is ensuring that this other adult, right, is also worthy to be around your child. You got to vet that person.
Well, I mean, but once again, you have no choice in that. But what you can do is let that other man know that, hey, I'm also a man, and I will protect my child. You know what I mean? I mean, you ain't got to say it like that. Okay, like I mentioned before, like I've never told nobody, man, you talk about my wife, it's a wrap for you. I will end you. But people feel like that just being around her and I. And I think that's the same energy when you meet that man. Like, hey, brother, you shake his hand, you look him in the eye. You're not disrespectful, but he needs to see that this man loves his child. So I need to make sure I do right by this man's child. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. So you're not ensuring that he can. You're ensuring that he knows that he must do the best he can. Like when a father gives away his bride, gives away his daughter at a wedding. You know, I mean, like I said, when my wife's grandfather gave her away, and I'd known Sam for 3-4 years before we got married, before that moment. And when I went to shake his hand and take Janae's hand, he held my hand for a minute. You know what I mean? Sam was in his 70s. He held my hand good and hard for a minute. And he looked at me, he said, you make sure you take care of my daughter or my granddaughter. But no, he said, you make sure you take care of my baby. And he looked at me dead in my eye. There was no joking about it. There was no playing games about it. He meant that shit.
And what's funny is, I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret sauce here. It was years later, when Jswans found out who this man really was, one of the first black Rangers in the United States Army. This man put in work. You know what I'm saying? So when he was holding on to him, he was letting him know, I'm gonna come see you.
For real. But mind you, that's a 70-some-year-old man. You know what I mean? I was 23, 25? And I'll tell you, I felt a little bit intimidated. I was like, man, this dude ain't, I stepped back. This is Sam who loved me a minute ago, but he was giving his granddaughter, he was giving his baby to me. And he let me know, like, don't play.
And I think that's another part of society, because that's been lost. We're losing that.
Yeah. Well, I think you're losing it because I think a lot of, remember how dads, I mean, we've all heard about this. I never went through this, but I've heard about it. Like the dad, like the girl brings her boyfriend home, to meet the parents, and dad's got the shotgun shell on the, on top of the fireplace with dude's name on it, and that used to be funny back in them days. But now I think that, I'm just guessing, but a lot of young women would be upset with their fathers for that.
Well, my daughter's going to be upset with me because I'm going to always be cleaning that thing when she brings some boy over here. Dad, why you always got the M14 out when Tommy come over? Just so Tommy know. 3 football fields away. I can still touch you.
Longer than that.
I'm just saying, I said me. You know what I mean? In the hands of a skilled operator. Oh, yeah.
See,
much further than that.
Night vision on him, boy.
Hey. You know what I mean? And then Brother Muhammad is like, the man also plays a vital role in your child's future. So, the least thing he can do is have a good mindset for the better future of your child. And all that goes into play, man. And, if you ever find yourself in a family law situation in America, when you go into court, you don't hear this as much, but you used to hear this all the time. It's like everything is like revolves around the best interest of the child. You hear that all the time. And I agree with that. But in family court, they just saying that they don't mean it. But in real life, as adults, we should care about you. I know for a fact Jswan cares about children. My cousin Marvin cares about children. You know what I mean? Above all else. Like it shouldn't hurt the children shouldn't suffer because the grown-ups don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. And, and some parents do the best they can because they don't know. I mean, and some males, or however you want to put it, they do the best they can. Your baby mama may choose a dude that's just weak, but if he knows that you love that child more than you love your life, that might cause him to really think about, how he's doing things.
Right. He's certainly going to think about any potential fuckery. He's like, man, I got to deal with this. This man over here is going to come find me.
For real. So, I'll tell you, to the day that Sam died, I believe that man might have done something to me. I mean, hell, my own father told me at my wedding, that's my daughter. You heard her. We going with her.
Right. Your dad.
My dad told me that. So, I mean, and that once again, that's part of being a man, and Candace, much love. I mean, I respect it. I'm glad that you're able to to process and handle that vetting process. I think, I said, I guess that I'm just assuming that a lot of young women, might not like that, but
they might not have that. And Sister Kansas was saying, I wasn't upset with my father. He was absolutely involved in the vetting process of my now husband. And I would venture to say, if we're just making up numbers, the odds of her being in a successful relationship are much higher because she had that extra level of involvement and love in the vetting process with a male perspective. Like Jswans keeps saying, we don't know what it's like to be a woman. We have no idea. You know what I mean? So women, and likewise, women don't know what it's like to be a man. So we need to come together to do what's best for our children. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, shout out to you, Sister Candace. And Brother Jason was like, blessed to have a boy. You know what? Exactly. Tell him something. You got two.
I was gonna say, man, you think that, it is hard to raise. I would tell people all the time, I'm not raising, I got boys, I'm raising men. Or I say I'm raising strong men. My wife would say that to people. Now we're raising men. And it is hard. I'll tell you, brother, it is hard because I tell you, I love my sons more than I love my life itself. All right. I would give everything. I would give up anything. There was no amount of money that anybody could offer me, nothing any man could do for me to make me, ever, do anything harmful or dangerous or leave my sons. And when you have to discipline them, when you have to treat them like men, because they're trying to behave like men. I've told my sons, you want to act like a man, then I will beat you like a man. Okay. There is nothing harder than having that conversation. Okay?
That's tough love, but that conversation needs to be had because every boy thinks he can take his dad at some point.
Yes. And in my wife's role, and we've had arguments about it, we've laughed about it, we've talked about it, but her role is to come in behind me and say, hey, your dad loves you. Okay. And remind them of that, because that tough love is hard, man. It is really hard. I mean, I don't know what women go through with girls. I know my wife says all the time, I can't have no girl. There can only be one queen in this house.
Like there is only one queen and then there's the princess. Nope.
Yeah, nope.
Nope.
None of
we
that.
Ain't on that Disney. Nope.
Nope. But no, so I mean, I think having boys is a blessing and it's a curse because it takes a lot out of you as a father. And now as they're adult young men, with, like I said, one is 27, the other one is 21, just turned 21. And the relationship is finally evolving to where the relationship that I have with my father is now. I can talk to them like men. We can have these conversations, especially my son in the Army. The day he left for the Army, his first call back home, he was having a bad day. And he started cursing on the phone, the basic training call he started cursing on the phone and he's like, oh, I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry. And I said, hold on, man. You are a man now. You're old enough to fight for this country. You're old enough to curse at your dad. All right. Just be respectful. Okay. So, he'll say his thing, but you can tell he's still kind of controlling it a little bit. And the first thing he says is, before he curses, is mom in the room? Can mom hear me? Because you don't want his mom, he's trying to be respectful to his mother still.
And people, that's what we're talking about, male versus men. Yeah. Dudes who run around cursing and stuff in front of their mom and all that kind of stuff, that's a male. Yeah. Right? You just hear the story that Jswans just told you. I'm the same way to this day. I don't curse in front of my mom. I don't curse in front of my stepmom. I don't curse in front of older women. There's a level of respect there that was ingrained in me, and that's what's gotten away. Everybody's too busy trying to be friends with their kids. You didn't have kids to have friends. You got to raise them kids. You got to raise them kids.
Yeah, for real.
You got to raise them. So, and I'm gonna ask Jswans to share a story because I think it's really, when you talk about fatherly love.
Wait, where you drafted? I was just thinking, man, like I didn't even, I'm 49 years old, man. And I had my first drink in front of my dad just when I was president of the coalition. So I was probably 35 years old when I had my first drink in front of my dad. And I ordered that pina colada or strawberry daiquiri, whatever it was. Okay, look, my dad is sitting there with all his work friends, right? They're all sitting around, in their suits, and all these government guys are all sitting around. They ordering drinks, scotch. They get to me, y'all have a pina colada?
Man, you should have ordered a grape knee-high, bro, if you're gonna do all that, man. What was you thinking? I know they clowned you for that, bro.
Bro, my dad was mortified. I remember kind of like, how you can feel someone in the heat looking at you. Now I didn't want to make eye contact. That drink showed up. My dad took that drink from me and put a scotch in front of me and said, "Don't you ever embarrass me like that again."
Again, it never stops, y'all. It's not like you reach a point and you stop growing and developing as a man. You know what I mean? Like my godson, he's made, he's a man. And then, but he still learns. He calls me and asks me stuff. We get together, we talk about things that he doesn't necessarily want to talk to his father about, so he can come to me about, which is fine. You know what I mean? But it's still a level of respect there.
It's part of the tribe, bro. There's things that as a father, I don't want my son to know me in certain ways. You know what I mean? Like I don't want my son to ever see me fucked up and drunk. I don't want that. I don't know why that is. I just don't want my son to see me like that. And you know, and there's questions he may want to ask about women. You know what I mean? That like I will answer everything I can and everything I'm comfortable with. But there's sometimes he might just want to know about some smashing stuff, you know, and that's what he calls DL for. You know,
we can talk about that Foxy Brown. I got it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I don't want my son to know me like that. You know, and that's why you watch your bubble. That's why you watch your tribe. You know, DL, he and I have different views on how to approach different things. But he knows what my views are. And he's never going to say anything to disrespect my family or my views and this and that. He may say, hey, do this. But, you know, your dad, he might not be into this. But I'm just saying this is how I operate. He's not going to disrespect my family. And I trust him enough to give my son advice. You know, I have another friend like that, Jason. Same way. He calls Jason up about stuff that, you know, I mean, that's my circle. That's my group. Those are the men that I surround myself with. You know what I mean? So that's so much you got to watch. You know, not everybody's got your best interest at heart. Vet your people.
Vet your people. Sister Candace, she says, yes, my parents have been married for 42 plus years. So I've seen a nuclear family at work, unlike many. You throw me in that category. I've never seen a nuclear family work within my family. I've seen it work with others, but I've never seen it work on my side of the world. It's very rare to have the, you know, in my family, there are people who've been married and it stood the test of time. Very rare indeed. But I know it exists. So I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, it'll never work like those black pill guys. No, I'm not saying that. It does work. But I know what it takes to do that sort of stuff. Sister Kansas is like, I still don't curse in front of my parents because you are a regal woman. You know what I mean? And you were grown, raised right. Brother Mandrell's in the house. What is good? That's the SF guy. That is the Green Beret up in the house, man. I can't wait to do another show with you, bro. This is Jswans, man. This is the scrolled out dude right here who went through all that training.
It was like we show up after they done been there and left.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I had to shut up. I went in the other room and sat down after that. I was like, okay, I'm done.
Right. But Brother Mandrell, welcome. Thanks for coming through, man. We got to do it. We got to do another episode, man. And I figured out my audio part, so it won't be such a difference in the audio, and it'll be easier for our people to watch. So, all right, we've talked a little bit here. Let's get back to the video, man. We left off with number 3, honor. And again, this is how to be more masculine. 5 key qualities to master. And so far, I've agreed with pretty much everything we've seen in this video. I mean, pretty much. I mean, I think it's kind of getting there. And it started from 5 to 1. We're up to 3. So let me pull this up.
Well, I think they put in a little whole lot, you know, like we talked about yesterday, you know, they put the British accent on dude to make it sound like he's more important than what he is. He sounds British. He must be believable.
Yeah, you know, I do the same thing. I got a British accent on my GPS when I'm driving around. It's a British lady.
Yeah, I got one too. It's kind of sexy when she tell you where to turn.
Exactly. So, but let's continue. Let's hear what they have to say.
Honor. Your word is your bond. There was a time when a man's honor was valued above all else. Spartan mothers would tell their sons, with it or on it, meaning to return with shield in hand or laying dead upon it. There was no honor in surrender, no honor in half measures. Once upon a time, a handshake was a contract for a business deal. Men would keep their word, as going against it would be more painful than death itself. Your honor helps create a solid reputation. Your reputation is how other men judge you. It doesn't matter if you have power, wealth, and worldly accomplishments. If you have no honor, you will quickly lose all respect.
I gotta agree with that, man. And this isn't a British accent, by the way. This is something European. It's not British. This might be slightly Eastern European.
Look, to Americans, it sounds British. All right.
Okay, to you, it sounds British.
Trying to explain it.
And to you, it sounds, bro. You got me up here looking all bad, like I don't know my accents. I'm like, what's Jswans talking about? That's not British.
As long as they take American Express, I don't give a damn what they speak.
So, but Honor, though, I agree with everything I'm hearing here, bro. Like, I mean, if I give you my word, I have to follow through on that. I mean, if you're only as good as your honor, and then your name. What are your thoughts on that?
I think, well, I'm living that right now with what's going on, with the housing stuff I talked to you about up here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm living that right now. I think a lot of people still prescribe to that or subscribe to it. And because, here's what I'm talking about, the house thing. I have a neighbor that's selling a house. And because of the way that my wife and I treated, their family, and how, I'm trying to think how to put this.
Let's be careful with this. I would say that because you and your wife are so honorable and your name is so honored within this community, that people want to bend over backwards to do right by you guys.
They're giving our friends an amazing deal on a house.
Love.
I'm talking $100,000 less than.
I wouldn't get into the details, but they're giving them love.
Yeah, they're giving them crazy love, and it's all because of the honor and integrity that my wife have shown them and the respect they have for us. So I mean, and I tell you, and there's issues going on with that process throughout that process right now that my wife and I are having a hard time with, because it's affecting our name, kind of thing. I'm trying to make it so it's as vague as possible. You know what I'm doing?
Yeah, but the bottom line is this: you guys have built up your name. Unless this is called like your own personal wealth, your family wealth. Like you guys have earned that because respect in all this is earned. It's not given. And then you have a situation where another party is giving disrespect and honor to someone who doesn't necessarily deserve it.
Well, not. Well, I wouldn't say it like that, but it's sometimes people don't understand what's going on, so they kind of, human nature being what it is. So I would leave it at that. Human nature just being what it is. We got love for everybody, on both sides of the project. But, when your name is involved with something, even though you try not to, if you care about your name, okay, which I do, I'm proud to be who I am. All right. My wife is proud to have my name. I think sometimes she's more proud than I am to have my name. People know my family across the country, which is, surprising to me, how much people know and how they feel about my family name, and so it is big. There is nothing more value. Nothing more valuable to anyone. Should be nothing more valuable than your name, and I think if you live your life like that, that's one thing I've told my boys. I don't give a damn what you do in life or how you do this and how you do that. You honor your family name. You are a Swanson.
So, and the point I was trying to make, because your family has done that over the generations, and it's an honorable name, and no one has tarnished that name as of yet. I doubt if anyone will. But if I tell you I'm going to Dallas, and you're like, okay, when you're in Dallas, go to this restaurant. My people are there. They know us. They know my family. They'll take care of you. Now, I have a responsibility to represent myself to the highest, because I'm going under Jswans name, right? So if I go in there and I act an ass, that's not just on me. That's on Jswans.
Yeah. And
that's what I meant when I was like, sometime honor and respect is given to people who don't deserve it. In that particular case, I got to go in there and I got to not only hold up my honor and my name for my family, but yours as well. Oh, yeah. I don't think that everyone deserves that. It's different if I walk in there and I'm just over there screaming your name and they're like, oh, Jswans, we know him too. That's different. That's not the same as Jswan picking up the phone saying, hey, my man DL's coming. Take care of him. Right? Yeah, and in that scenario that you're talking about, these people like, oh, there's some people I know, they're pretty cool. They're gonna, they're being taken care of. But these people they're not honoring the gift, if that makes any sense.
And not everybody understands that. Not everybody understands that. There's different, and I'll tell you what kind of man D is. I've had many friends around my parents and my people, all right, throughout the years, okay? DL is the only one that I know, like the number one that my dad is pull strings for like he has, okay? Or that my cousins treat him like he's family. You know what I mean? I show up somewhere and they're like, oh, where's your man at? You know, that kind of thing. Yo, where's he at? That sort of stuff. And they still upset with you about, you know, when everybody was down in Tampa and you was out of town. They still, but you know, but I mean, but those are the different things. So I mean, it's, you know, your name is truly, if you truly understand what it is, it's I mean, there's nothing more valuable. It's real. So when a man, once again, when you select a partner and you give your name to that partner, and we talked about this a little bit before, but if there was hesitation on that woman taking your last name or wanting to hyphen your name, okay, hold on, let me clear this up. If she's hyphen, if y'all getting married at 40 and y'all got her business and then in your business, okay, I get that. There's a reason why you should hyphen that stuff because, you know, they know this person is this. But if you are young and you're getting together and she's like, I don't know, you know, I don't know if I want to take your name, bro, that's a red flag. Run, walk away. I'm sorry.
You definitely should.
You know, if she loves you, I mean, she loves you. She loves who you are. And part of who you are as a man is you are whatever your name is.
So you talking about Jada Pinkett Smith?
Yes. Yo, that's a whole nother episode.
That's 3 episodes. That is 3 episodes dealing with that. Brother Viking, thanks for the support. Thanks to all the people who are willing to be my mods. Thank y'all so much. I was so happy and so proud that I could give y'all wrenches. And look at Brother Viking representing already. That is my Instagram. Y'all, please come check me out over there as well. So yeah, and then we got my queen sister Naya's in the house. What's good? Hey, big bro. And I see you, baby. I'm very honored to carry your family name. Absolutely. Naya's all about that team. I ain't gonna lie. I am not gonna lie. They got uniforms and everything.
Yeah, for real.
Uniforms and everything, man. And Sister Shani, hey, how you doing? I think first timer. I don't believe I've seen you before. Welcome. A woman should be proud to take,
That's my people. So, you know, what is it?
Oh, well, go ahead and read that.
Feet to
go
knees.
ahead.
All love, feet to knees.
That's what a woman should be proud to take a man's name before marrying him. I never thought of it that way before. I remember girls in high school and middle school would practice writing my last name. If they had a crush on you or whatever, they would sit around practice writing the last name. So I don't know if they do that anymore.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, we're not women. We don't know, but I know as a man, you know, it is your job to make her feel, to make her want your name. You know what I mean? Like you gotta be the kind of man that she is like, wow, you know, this is what I want. You know,
you have to bring honor to the name in the first place. So that's why I agree with what they were saying here about honor. We're ready to go back to the video. You got a few more.
Get Weinstein and his pimp lady is his what do you call his shopper. Get him off the screen.
I think they're gonna say this is gonna be something negative about this. So let's find out what it is because I'm looking at it too. Like, how is Weinstein gonna be here talking about honor? But here we go.
Take for instance Jeffrey Epstein, a man stripped of all honor due to his debauchery. The world looks down on men who do not respect others, and a far worse crime, men who do not respect themselves. Honor is about having strong principles by which you live. Honor is having a code and embodying your philosophy through your actions. If you have no code and slither through the world in pursuit of self-aggrandizement, karma will get you.
Whoa, hardcore. You know what I mean? Look at the faces he putting up here, but I can't argue it. He has an excellent point.
That's real. Karma will get you, bro. I am a firm believer in karma. You know, I am a firm believer in karma, bro. It will get you. I mean, but you know, I mean, once again, I look at it like a man that doesn't respect a woman. If he can't respect a woman, then that's something else. And this is just me. Like other people may think differently, but I can't respect you. You know, it's one thing to disagree with a woman. It's one thing to not like what she has to do or say. But as a man, a mature man, you need to be able to walk away and say, hey, you know what I mean? You're not supposed to sit there and fight with women. You're not supposed to get in arguments with women. You just say, hey, walk away. And as much as
Absolutely.
people say, well, I got to get that last word in. Brother, when you walk away, you did get the last word in. And that's
You got
fact.
all of the last words in.
Yes.
When you get that kind of when you're a man and you can just walk away, not walk away kicking the can, you know what I mean? Not walk away, you know, cursing under your breath or whatever. Nah, just walk away.
All right, love. And walk away.
Just walk away.
I mean? Because nothing makes a person feel smaller than when you leave the room as an adult. And
Absolutely.
Many times I've been in many situations where I'll be wanting to go off. You know what I mean? What's that Key and Peele skit where he looked around saying, and I said, biatch. You know, many times I'll be wanting to think, I'll be in my head, I'll be going off. But you know, you just got to walk away sometimes. And that's part of being a man. Emotional control is a huge part of being a man. Emotional maturity and emotional control. You
must have that as a man. You must. You cannot be ruled by your emotion as a man. If a man who has zero emotional control is a male, first of all, and that's a deadly male on top of that.
Yes. You
know what I mean? All these kids, these out here running around, these active shooters and all that, these are emotional males.
Yeah.
Just bottom line. Miss AKA ladies in the house, what's good, love? Thank you so much for coming through. Doug says he believes in karma as well. I mean, I'm not a very religious person, but I do believe you reap what you sow. I do believe that. You know what I mean? I don't have to be born again or whatever, or, you know, be a devout Catholic to understand the lessons contained in those texts. There are lessons there, right? You reap what you sow.
Yes, that's a fact, bro.
Yeah, so let's continue. Let's see. We got about 4.5 minutes left.
This can be seen even in the animal kingdom. Guard your honor and reputation with your life. It's worth more than any material good on this planet. 2, resilience.
I like that part. I really like that part about honor, because that's one of the things that, I mean, at the end of the day, that's all you have is your name and who you are. And honor speaks volumes to you as an individual. If you run around out here being shiesty and doing this, that, and the third, whatever you need to do for money, you know what I mean? There's no honor in that. Robbing people, you know, stealing from people, good people. There's no honor in that.
No. You know what I mean? I go back to that kicking puppies thing. You know what I mean? Nobody's ever told you not to kick a puppy, but you know it's the wrong thing to do. You know when you've dishonored yourself. I mean, I really believe men know when they've dishonored themselves. They may not admit it, but they know it. You know,
across the board, you say they know it. So even those people who are just confused, like, you know, let's say you got a male who's raised by like straight up crazy female, like you're talking about that R. Kelly thing, which I still haven't watched that thing you sent me, but
yeah, most definitely.
So apparently you have a woman who's just like really deranged, you know, really screwed up. And if that person raises a child, could that child argue that they weren't raised right, that they didn't know the difference between right and wrong, or you say it's instinctive?
Okay, I was gonna say it's instinctive. They might not understand what they're feeling, but they know what they're feeling is not good. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
You know, someone that goes and kicks a puppy, you know, may not understand the crappy, the shitty feeling they have in their gut, but they know it's there. They just don't know how to deal with it. They don't know how to address it, you know, that sort of thing. And maybe that's what drives them more. Maybe they think it's a pleasure thing. You know, like you got some sick people out there that, you know, pay extra to get choked, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
are you trying to make an announcement or something? Is that what
I don't pay extra for that. That's what I'm saying.
You don't
Yo, how my man David Carradine go out in the closet with a rope around his neck?
Yeah, man. Like that's yeah. We'll come away from that.
The young kids, they don't know about that. They don't know about old kung fu, boy. But,
they sure don't.
But no, I mean, I think that that feeling is there. They just don't understand it. You know what I mean? They don't understand it, but they know it's something different. They know it's weird. You know, maybe they reach for it again, and that's why they keep doing stupid stuff. But no, I think everybody has that. Everybody has that feeling, unless you're a narcissist, but that's a whole nother definition. And, you know,
right.
But
right.
I think most people have that feeling, though, like, yo, this is wrong, but this is what I'm supposed to do. You know,
and you say you're born with that, so that's one of those things that you don't even have to be taught. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that.
But when you get around your bubble, and if your bubble is all about, you know, kicking puppies, So when you kick it, they celebrate it. So you get that, man, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I mean, I know it feels awkward, but everybody's happy. So I guess I did the right thing. My feelings are not where they should be. I'm the one that's wrong, that kind of thing. So they think that kicking puppies is okay because people are celebrating it.
Well, let's take it to real life, and this is going to be real dark, y'all. But I'm listening to you say this, and the thoughts I'm having right now is, well, that must be how people felt, and that's how they thought. That's how they justified lynching our ancestors.
There you
because
go.
That's wrong.
Yes.
But it's like a big celebration. There's a barbecue. People are out there taking pictures and bringing their family around. So it's like an attempt to society is trying to make it right. And I mean, and it's easier again if you were one of those people who follow the pack, right? As a man is the person who can say, no, this is wrong, and walk away or try to do something about it. You know what I mean? So, but males just go along with the herd.
Okay, here's an example I think people can relate to: the World Star videos. Okay, they'll see some old lady getting beat up by some guy, and they'll take their phones out and record it, knowing that they should stop this. And that's
an excellent point. That's better than mine. That's yeah.
And I guarantee somebody's like, man, how you gonna sit there and watch this? Like, what's wrong with you? But then he'll put it online and get 100,000 views on it, and people laughing, and then he'll justify it in his head like, y'all must have done the right thing. I think that's more of a relatable thing.
I went viral. Look what I did. I'm a cool guy. Like, no, you should have protected that old woman. What's wrong with you?
You should have stepped in there and done something. That sort of thing. So yeah, I mean, I think that's what it's all about.
All right. Well, let's continue. Huh?
Brazilians do that. Let's play.
Men should be strong. Weakness is not acceptable. Life is hard. You will face adversity, so it's best to strengthen yourself before they happen. Voluntary discomfort has been practiced by men for centuries to build resilience and grit. After a long fast or sleeping on the floor, Stoic philosopher Seneca would say, "Is this the condition that I feared?" As a reminder that things are often made worse in the mind. Reality is always bearable. If it wasn't, you would be dead. Resilience.
So, bro, but here's the thing, man. Basic training, airborne school, and getting to the unit. I mean, there was a lot of, let's say, there was a lot of stuff we had to deal with, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, that stuff is marginal compared to just the stuff you deal with in day-to-day life. And the growing up part of that male becoming a man process, I look at the hardships my dad would put on me. I mean, take care of your sisters, do this, the mental stuff, like, being, 6, 7 years old with the key to the house, make sure your little sister gets home, make sure she gets something to eat. I'm 6 or 7 years old. I mean, how
somebody should be making sure I get something to eat.
Exactly. I mean,
hey,
that's
my
just
favorite trolls in the chat, man. My favorite trolls, Snuggles 668. I ain't seen you in a while. What's good, Snuggles?
Oh, no.
Yeah, but yeah.
How do we justify? I don't know what you mean.
Yeah. How do you justify things America? I guess America does to destabilize countries, man. We do a whole bunch of stuff. That's like again.
I can answer that right now. Anytime a industrialized nation goes to another part of the world or to another country that is underdeveloped, they naturally take it over. So that's what we do. That's what we do. Now.
And then Snuggles says, "Hey, does America kick other people's animals? Not without orders. I mean, when we come over, we're very disciplined. If you go over there and kick or shoot some puppies, man, you're gonna have to face a court martial.
Yeah,
you're gonna face a court martial. But I mean, and again, when you get into the larger picture, I see where you're coming, Snuggles. I do. I wish the world were this perfect utopia. I really do. But but you got to understand something. Here in America, we do what we got to do to maintain America and Americans, right? So there's not a nation, there's not a sovereign nation on planet Earth that will stand against us. Why? We have the biggest military and we know how to use it, right? You can ask Brother Mandrell. There are guys like Brother Mandrell out there right now doing things for America that needs to be done. Now, is that right or wrong? It depends on you. What's the ultimate goal? If we didn't do these things, America wouldn't exist. We'd have been wiped off the face of the planet a long time ago. You know, you look at Israel. You know, look at what Israel has to do.
Yo, Snuggles got you off topic. Snuggles got you getting ready to go on a rant.
Oh, let me stop.
Get back to resilience.
Let me get back to it. But
got you worked up.
good looking out. But no, I mean, but I get where Snuggles is coming from, though. I mean, I get the duality, but it's like, hey, man, at the same time, we got to survive. We have to still be here. We can't just let people come and take from us what we took from others. Like, we know what we did to get it.
Exactly.
Right? So we're gonna get back to watching this Navy SEAL drown in the water.
Come get it.
Right. So here we go. We're gonna get back to the video.
All right.
This isn't neglecting your emotions. It's learning how to control them. Ensuring they do not cloud your judgment when you need to act. Spartans would use harsh methods in their agoj to strengthen boys into Spartan soldiers. Each Spartan as a result was the equivalent of 7 normal soldiers. The Navy SEALs subject wannabe SEALs to Hell Week, a week where they train for 5 days and 5 nights with only 4 hours of sleep. All of this to test a man's mind. All of this to measure what he is made of. Aspiring to be great is a core tenet of masculine energy. Every boy wants to be a superhero. Since birth, something inside us has idolized strong men.
You think that's the case anymore?
No, I do. You know what I mean? But it's what is, people have different definitions of what they consider a strong man. You know, I consider a strong, okay, at 18 or 19, I considered a strong man, you know, the guy that can do, you know, the most push-ups in 2 minutes, you know, the guy that can run the fastest 2 mile, you know, that sort of stuff. At 35, I considered a strong man, the man who could mentally deal with adversity in his life and still come out on top, you know, that sort of thing. So, I mean, it just depends on what your definition of what a strong man is. That
is a good point. Yeah, when I was a kid, you know, the fastest guy, the fastest person, the strongest person, the dude who could dunk first, you know what I mean? The guys who were best on the football field, who could hit a home run first. I get you. But as I got older, it did change. You know what I mean?
I realized how strong my father was. I realized that as I became older as an adult, because one thing, when my parents divorced, I have never heard my dad say anything negative about my mom.
Throughout that whole process.
I've heard one thing to this day, and they've been divorced for 30 some years, you know, and this was rather recently. So, I mean, I know he was hurt, and I know she was hurt, and I know there were issues, you know, I'm sure the regular divorce stuff that he said, she said, it's her fault, it's whatever, right? But he never said anything negative about my mother. That to me is strength.
That's honorable. And he did that because he didn't want his children to hear that, right? That's honorable.
He didn't want them to disrespect their mother. And whenever I did something wrong or had a problem with my mom, his go-to was, that's your mother, respect your mother. That's strength to me.
Yeah. And Snuggles, answer your question is both, and more more mental than physical. When you get to certain elements, it's not about how strong you are, because your body can become weak, but mental toughness will get you through the whole Hanoi Hilton. Mental toughness will get you, you know, through the jungles, you know, Southeast Asia or like, you know, or Central America. It's mental toughness. And you should, you know, check out Brother Mandrell. He'll tell you about mental toughness, you know what I mean, as opposed to physical toughness. But you need both just so you can train your body to do certain things. But mental toughness trumps all, in my opinion.
And this question here, like, you know, where did the true strength come from? For me personally, I don't like to lose.
Y'all don't understand what he's saying. Y'all truly don't get what he's saying. He doesn't like to lose. Yeah, I've never seen anything like it, ever.
I have a real problem with that.
Ever.
So, when you tell me I can't do something, that usually kind of gets me motivated.
Miss AKA ladies, like, this is great co-parenting advice. Being a co-parent today, this is the reality of the world as we know it today. This is the situation on the ground. Co-parenting is the thing. You must co-parent for your kids. I mean, I have 2 children, one of which I'm not involved in his life because there's an inability to co-parent. And who does that hurt? You know what I mean? It doesn't hurt me.
Yeah. In
that sense, I mean, it hurts in the sense that it bugs the hell out of me because I can't be involved in my child's life. But ultimately, it hurts the child. It hurts the children. It hurts my daughter. She can't be involved in her brother's life. So, and that's a grown up thing. It has nothing to do with the kids. And I think that's horrible. That's a horrible thing to have to deal with.
Tell you, co-parenting, I've never had to really do it, so I don't understand it. But I believe that parenting should be a tribal thing.
It takes a village. It takes a village.
I believe that wholeheartedly. If it wasn't for the people that we surrounded ourselves with, I don't believe that the boys would be the men that they are today.
Snuggles is one. What does mental fortitude look like? How does it manifest itself in human beings? Snuggles, you got to put yourself through some shit. Won't you go out there, put yourself through something, and you'll find out. I mean, and I'm not trying to be funny, but if you want to know what is mental fortitude, have somebody drop you off in the middle of nowhere and try to get your ass back. You'll figure it out quick. You know what I mean?
I know what mental fortitude is when you're sitting around at home, you're about to lose your house, you don't have money for groceries, the kids are on the way home from school, and you got to find a way to feed them and make it happen.
Or even worse, you got to choose between some medicine that's going to make your kid feel better, but they're not going to die if they don't get it, but it's going to make them feel better, or food. When you got to make these tough choices.
That's where your mental fortitude comes in. Am I eating dinner tonight, or is my kid getting, are my kids getting this medication? I can say this. There were times in growing up, like it wasn't always all great. It wasn't always all great. And there were times growing up where things got rough. Even with Janae and I, there were times where it never got that bad with us. But growing up, it got rough. And we never knew. My sisters and I, we never knew that my parents were struggling. And I'm pretty sure when my dad first got out of the Air Force and my mom was starting to work at the hospital, I'm pretty sure there were some tough times. But we as kids, we never knew. Even when my parents were going through the divorce, we as kids never knew anything was going on until they sat down and said, hey, we're getting a divorce. So, that is what mental fortitude looks like. Our parents had enough mental fortitude to keep all the negative stuff from us so that we can continue being kids, and that I think that's what that is. That's what mental fortitude to me looks like.
Yeah, and it goes back to mission first. You know what I mean? And Snuggles, I enjoy your conversations because you are very straightforward with me. I am never offended with how you say or how you answer my questions. I just like when you answer my questions and I take what I get. And you're welcome, Snuggles. Like I said, you're my favorite troll. I ain't tripping. I meant that. My favorite troll. You can go back and look at some of my episodes. I'm not normally that friendly with trolls. That's something I have to work on as a man. I have to work on it. Jswans saw me shove. Jswans talk a lot of shit, but he saw me shove somebody in the locker, and he had to pull me aside and was like, "Oh, bro, what are you doing?
That's my job.
Yeah, that's what you doing, bro?
Yeah, you was stealing my thunder. I couldn't even get none in.
Yeah, Snuggles, you're my favorite troll. There's some trolls that I've had a couple of trolls. I tried to climb through this screen. I was trying to pop out on their end to deal with them.
Bro, I tried to buy a plane ticket and go see somebody. So
exactly. So that's something we got to work on as men. That is not the proper way to lead. And I do believe in leading by example. I certainly believe in leading from the front. I say it all the time when I'm talking to these young men in the manosphere and I see what they're doing. Keep leading from the front. But leading from the front also means to lead by example and be the example. You know what I mean? And so,
and notice, no man is perfect.
No.
You know what I'm saying? The last man that was perfect, he walked on water and turned, water into wine.
Yeah, they crucified him.
Exactly. So no man is perfect. So, don't sit here and think that we talk about this stuff and this is how we live our lives constantly. This is how we try to live our lives.
We strive to live our lives the best we can, but we're human.
It's hard. Brothers, sisters, it is hard. There's temptation out there every day. You strive. My father told me growing up that I got to be 10 times better than the next man. And he meant that. And he said it to me quite often. And to live your life trying to be 10 times better than the man you're sitting across from is hard. That is hard.
That is hard. And Snuggles, when we make that, we use that term, shove them in the locker. It's a metaphor. Like we don't physically shove them.
No, he felt it. He knows what that is. He felt it.
We don't. But to answer your question, there has been times in my life when I was growing up where it did feel good to overpower somebody, to beat somebody. It did feel good. You know what I mean? I didn't really shove anybody in the lockers, but I've thrown plenty of people into garbage dumpsters. I've done that. Right.
shoved many people in the locker, bro. That's what
Yeah,
I did quietly. You want to know what a verbal one looks like? When I asked that dude how tall he was.
Yeah.
That was shoving somebody in the locker.
Yeah. But I mean, I think the core of Snuggles' question is like, does it how does it make you feel? I mean, when you overpower someone, it's a victory. It's just like scoring a touchdown. It's just like hitting a 3-pointer. You know what I mean? It's like winning a game. You know what I mean? And go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know what? When I was young, it felt good. When I was in high school, it felt good. It was the cool thing to do. When I was in my late teens, when I was first in the Army, it was fun. It felt cool. But as I got older and I started seeing how it affected people, I stopped doing the manly, look how strong I am stuff. And I started doing the manly, let me improve my mind.
Yes.
I started doing that. I realized that, that's not cool. And I think that's why I have such a hard time with bullies now, is because I was a bully. I was that guy that would pick. My wife tells me all the time, like, I can't believe you used to do that to people. And I literally.
Hold on. How you gonna be a bully? We bullied your ass as soon as you got to the unit.
Yeah, they tried to. They bullied the Remember, I was the one that they was like, we taking that dude right now. But no, but really, I would talk about stuff that I did, and my wife would be like, why would you do that? And it was because, you figure I went to basic training 6'4", 190 plus pounds, and came out 225. All I did was lift weights, but like I said, as I matured and I became more cerebral, that's when I realized, I'm like, man, wait a minute, this isn't cool. This isn't what, the women that I want aren't attracted to Biff, from Back to the Future,
Wait, whoa, ho. Hold up. What was that word you used?
Biff?
No. Cerebral. That was way too many syllables, man. When you start using big words?
I started reading. I started reading big books.
Stay away from them big books, man. Only read the books with the pictures. Stay away from the big books.
You want to pop up?
But honestly though, again, going back to historical or biblical text, when I was a child, I played with childish things, but when I became a man, how's the rest of it go?
When I became a man, I looked just like Jswans, and I realized that.
You're supposed to be the religious dude. As a child, I did childish things, but as a man, I think I put away those childish things or something like that. Y'all know I'm not that religious, but I do. Somebody in the chat help me out with that scripture. You know what I mean? And that's what Jswans is saying. As he got bigger, he became a man, a mature man, and understood the physical. And I was the same way. I stopped doing those. I stopped doing childish things. I became a man. I had to think my way through it.
Yeah, I can say this. The more physically strong I became, the more I became aware of my actions and how they affected people. I tell you, like as of today, if I was to run into myself at 16 to 19, I'd have to sit myself down like, brother, you got some real issues. You need to think. You need to talk. You need to slow down. I'm really surprised. Dude, I'm surprised we lived past 30, man. I'm surprised we lived past 21. Quietly.
You, bro. I can tell you all the time. First time I was looking down the barrel of a gun, man. I couldn't even legally drive. So bro, I was surprised I made it to the Army. How about that? I was surprised I made it to 18. I was so shocked I made it to 18. Couldn't wait to join the Army. But and Brother Doug was saying, I can't agree that Snuggles is a troll. She jokes sometimes, but she is very inquisitive. Snuggles has been around for a few years. And Snuggles, when I call you, and for everyone else in here, when I call Snuggles a troll, that's just my term of endearment. I know she's not trolling. I know that. It's just my term.
First of all, you can't call Snuggles a she because we don't know. So Snuggles is a them.
No. Snuggles is a female. I do know. I've been because people have verified. Come on now. We have her.
Did you check the penis?
This is YouTube world. I've done as much verification as I can. If you can use whatever pronoun you want. I have to take you at your word. It's like we're talking about. I have to take you at your word. That's just where we at with that, right? So
get back to resilience, man. Get back.
All right, here we go.
Dedicate yourself to building that strength within yourself. Be aware of your emotions so you can understand what your soul yearns for. Use this awareness to master these emotions so that you can make the right decisions in life. Adopt a stoic mindset so that you can turn every adversity into a triumph. 1. Purpose.
So I wanted to stop it there because Brother Doug had already made that statement right here. Stoic.
Yeah.
Right? Talking about the stoic mindset. It's a real important question I wanted to address right here. And I'll go first, Jswans. You can go after me. Brother Jason wants to know, after becoming a man, how important is it to surround yourself with other strong men? It is of the highest importance, my brother. Of the highest. You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with, bro. What's your take on that, brother Jswans?
You hit it right on the head, man. It is the most important thing, because once you realize that you become a man, that's when you also realize that you have a lot that you need to learn. So surrounding yourself with men that you respect, that you know are honorable, that you know are resilient, all these things in this list, that's going to define who you are. And people they'll look at the people that you surround yourself with, and they'll use that to judge you. They'll use that, for part of, this is an honorable man. So, I think there's nothing more important than surrounding yourself with other men that you respect. And also be in a room. Do not be the smartest one in the room. If you even think that you're the smartest one in the room, brother, you need to leave that room.
You're in the wrong room. You know what I mean?
Real.
And real talk, brother Jason, sit down, man. Sit down and write on a piece of paper the 5 men you spend the most time around, right? And then judge those men's character. Judge them on what we're talking about here, like their purpose in life.
Not as your friends. Don't judge them as your friends.
Not as your friends. Like judge them on the individual. Are they honorable men? Are they men who keep their word? Are they respectful men? Are they stoic men? All this stuff, right? You know what I mean? And look at those guys. And if they're not, how can you be any of those things if you're hanging around a bunch of guys who don't already possess those qualities?
I'm telling you, and you know what? If you are a man and you exude these traits of a man, you are going to attract men to you. You're going to have men around you that are like-minded. Okay, like Shani here, her husband. That is a man I respect to the utmost. And he, like I said, he's not the biggest guy. He's obviously a very intelligent man, but he may not be the smartest guy. But I know that above all else, he loves his family and he loves his wife. He loves this woman that's here, and I love my wife, and that's one of the things I think that made us that seeded our bond as friends. Is that he's an honorable man. We're different people from 2 different worlds. Shaney's a Yankee from North Carolina or something. Me and John, we're Southerners because I'm from Southern California.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Florida.
and Shaney came through with the verse for me. Thank you very much. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. That's what I was looking for. Thank you very much for that.
Like I said, that's another amazing woman. When you put out that energy into the, I know you hate saying it, but when you put that energy into the universe, you get back what you put out, and that John and Shani are 2 people that my wife and I respect, immensely, because we find them to be what we see in them, what we hope to achieve one day. So that's why.
What's up? Shout out to her. Shout out to her and her husband. That's how it should be. That's the horn fan. Brother Viking is saying, yep, that's why I joined F&F team. I lost all my friends when I gave into the blue pill thinking, so I had to make new ones. Then I woke up, and here's my thing on that. There are people who will be like, oh man, forget that red pill, blue pill, this, that, and manosphere, and this and that Disney fairy tale. My thing is this: whatever it takes to make you a better person, whatever it takes, period. If it makes you a better person, then it's a good thing. Yes. If it makes you a worse person, then it's a bad thing. So if you had to get rid of folks who thought a certain way and you're going off to think a different way, that's what men do. A man is not afraid to walk that path alone if he has to. A man is not afraid to go into the wilderness. He's not afraid to do it. He doesn't need people to go with him. And if you and I don't care all this other stuff, I get it. It's whatever. But there are a lot of men that come to me. They come to me from that manosphere world, from the red pill world, in particular the Fresh and Fit world. Fresh and Fit has built up an army.
Yeah, it's
of
amazing.
men.
Yeah, it's amazing.
They have built up an army, and these guys come out of the woodwork and they are asking the right questions. And if I can help these guys do right here, like tell them about purpose, you know what I mean? Tell them about honor, integrity, tell them about duty, you know, tell them about loyalty. If I can help these young males make themselves into better men, I don't care how you got to me. I don't care who brought you here.
Yeah,
but we're going to get you sorted out.
Yeah, understand what you're seeing and what you're hearing, because like, every time I'm on here, there's somebody gets on there and says, oh, Jay is blue pill or Jay is purple pill or whatever it is. And
for a second, I want to be, hey, y'all, just so y'all know, don't fuck around and say that to his face. You might regret it, but continue.
No, I just be wanting to prove him wrong. That's all,
Exactly.
The thing is, and D and I have had these discussions back and forth. I think the shit is silly. I'm the one when he said some people think I don't subscribe to it. I think it's silly. I'm like, just do you. Be who you are. Be comfortable in what you're in. People will say that I simp for my wife. I simp for her. Yes, I do simp for my wife. My queen gets the running gag is Naya gets what Naya wants. That's the running gag.
Naya wanted a Jaguar, and I tell you what, she wanted a Jaguar, and it's a beautiful car.
But that's my queen. I love my mother. I love my sisters. I love my aunts. I love my uncle. I treat all women with respect. I will hold the door for all women now. And D and I talked about this. I'm not gonna stand there for 45 minutes while she's on the phone with some dude going off and just not holding the door. No. But if she's coming right out, she holds the door. And if she doesn't say thank you, it don't bother me. Okay? Because I didn't hold the door to hear her say thank you. I hold the door because this is what this is what the people before me taught me to do in order to be a man. So I got no problem with that. And if that's what makes me, blue pill or whatever, then blue pill must be the hotness. That must be the place. That must be the side to be on because I'm there. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at life. And that's how you got to look at it. Do what's right for you. Do what works for you. Understand these core principles that you need to be a man, but do what's right for you. Do what feels good to you. Just make sure you maintain these core principles.
Well said, brother. Well said, brother. I ain't got nothing to put on that. So, brother Vecchi, good for you, man. I'm glad you found that tribe. You know what I mean? And I'm glad you're a part of my team as well. Like, one of my mods, you're here, one of my day ones. You know what I mean? So I'm honored to have you, bro.
Man,
you know what I mean?
Kiss that ass and start purpose. Press play.
Why are you on this earth? Is it to coast? Is it to chill? No. Masculine men have a purpose. They have a mission, a sense of direction. As a man, there is no greater pleasure than looking back at life and saying, this is what I have done. Every man's purpose is unique. It can be.
Hey, real talk. I was just talking to my family a couple days ago. We were out having a couple drinks and we were, reminiscing. And I said, you know what? If I don't wake up tomorrow, I can go to the great beyond with a smile on my face because I've had an outstanding life. At this point in my life, if I don't wake up tomorrow, although I got a lot of more work to do and I don't want to go, but if I don't wake up tomorrow, I am so pleased with what I have done with my life, what I have accomplished, all the things I've done in my life. There's some things out there I wish I hadn't done, but I think I've made amends for some of them. You know what I mean? A penance for some of them. You know what I mean? Just listen to what they were saying right there. That was popped in my head.
Damn, you know what? I'm sitting there like, I never really thought about that before, but yeah, you're right. If I had to go today, because, I'm thinking about talking about purpose, right? And while he was talking about, I'm like, damn, what purposes have I had? And looking back on my life when I was a young man, we talked about that. I had some sort of plan to have a wife, even though I didn't articulate it, I didn't know, but I had a plan. My purpose was to find, my mate. And then once I started my family, my purpose was to protect, provide, and take care of my family, to raise my boys to be young men. And now that I've done that in life, I've raised my children, I've raised my family. Now my purpose in life is to take care of my wife and be the best husband that I can be. I have no other purpose but to be the best husband that I can be to my wife. And that's crazy. I never even really thought about that until now. And that's deep.
That's right. And, and there's a lot of people talking about the simp thing. And I agree with a lot of people. Like, it is crazy. Here's the thing. If you're married and you're not doing for your wife, then you're not performing as a man. Now you're a male again. Now we get back into that whole male shit. Why wouldn't you want to do everything for your wife? You know what I mean? Especially if she's a dutiful wife, like Queen Naya is. You know what I mean? Like Jay Swans. Would you be as successful as you are today were it not for your wife?
No, without a doubt. No, without a doubt. There's no way. It's impossible. You know,
and he ain't lying. I saw it. I saw it from day one. I'm here to tell you. That's my dude. I love this man right here. I do. I told you I'd die for this man. I almost had a couple times. You know me, we were out there doing what we had to do. But here's the thing. He ain't no way in hell he'd be this successful without Nair. Ain't no way in hell. You know what I mean? I told him. It was once upon a time, I'm like, boy, you'll be a fool if you let her go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With the most serious look on my eye, like, man, for you be an absolute idiot if you let this woman go. I'm glad he listened to me. Yeah.
I mean, for real. Like I said, I tell people all the time. I tell her all the time, without her, there is no me. You know what I mean? When I tell her I love her, without her, there's no me. When I give her a card, that's what I write in the card. Without you, there is no me. And that's a fact. You know, and if, like I said before, if that's simping, hey, it is what it is.
Right. And Brother Doug gave you the highest compliment that I've ever heard anyone on this platform give you. Will Smith is a simp. Jay Swan isn't a simp. And that's basically how it's done. I agree with that one.
You know what the difference is? That's a good difference right there.
That's it. Thank you, Brother Doug, for that.
I wish my wife would bring home one of my son's friends. Boy, I think that we all this whole neighborhood be gone.
Yeah, y'all. We'll be doing this. We'll be doing this broadcast remote from some country that has no extradition with America, because I'll be up there with him. Because that's what it is. I told you about honor, duty, and care. I'm saying that's what it'll be. That's what it'll be. So let's finish the video.
Be as grand or as humble as he wants. What matters is that he challenges himself and leaves the world just a little bit better for the next generation. The greatest shame a man can feel is having lived a life and accomplished nothing. Having wasted a life building someone else's dreams without looking inwards to find his calling. It might take you years to find your purpose, and your purpose might evolve with time. When you find it, you will know. You will feel it in your bones. You will wake up every day excited to work on it. You will extend yourself past the limits you previously set for yourself. You will feel fulfilled. True masculinity is not toxic. Aggressive men with no emotional awareness who beat their wives are not masculine. Men who bully other males are not masculine. Men who have no master themselves are not masculine. Do not feel ashamed for wanting to be great. Don't let society's agendas dampen your flame.
Big, and don't try and get, for guys, that's unrealistic, I'm telling you. But I don't want people to think that's the best way to be. Like, be your size. Like, don't.
Yeah.
It's not.
Does eating meat make toxic masculinity worse?
It's one of the ways in which it can reinforce existing kind of social structures, including patriarchy.
Well,
what? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
For real.
Bro, I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
You are a man, a devastating force of nature. Masculinity is your birthright. Do this, and I promise you'll be one step closer to living and dying well. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate
the realized man. I tell you what, I gotta give that brother props for that video, man. I agree with 90% of what he was saying, man. I agree with that, bro. Especially that last part, man. That leaving the world just a little bit better than you found it. God, man.
That should be the goal for every human. But I mean, especially for a man. I mean, you know, I like the part where he said, you know, you may not know what your purpose is right now, but you know, you'll find it. And I think that's real deep. That's real profound right there. You know, everybody's got a purpose. I mean, I'm a firm believer, you know, I'm religious and I believe that God puts everybody on this planet. And when your work is done, that's when it's time that's when he calls you home. And you may not know what it is. I mean, some people are like this, well, I don't have nothing in my life. I just go to work and blah, blah, blah. You know what? That that, you know, that day you walked by somebody and you said, hey, good morning, have a good day. You might have saved that person's life. You know what I mean? That might have been your purpose. You know, so I mean, don't take that lightly. You know, I mean, definitely, you know, find your purpose. You know, don't go out searching for it, but when it presents itself, be aware of it. You know,
don't run from it. Yeah. Dr. B's in the house. You know what I'm saying? Yo. Thanks for coming, brother. We're about to wrap this up here, probably another 20 minutes or so. Thanks for coming through. We're talking about the difference between males and men versus males in America. We just watched a pretty good video. This is part 2. If you haven't seen part 1, please go check it out. And welcome. Thanks for coming through.
Hey, man.
You know what I mean?
I just thought about something. You know, when I told that story about, you know, when I got in my early 20s and it was like all of a sudden it was like, you know, as I started to become more cerebral, since you didn't like, you know, I realized that that's when that purpose part made a lot of sense to me now. You know, that's when I started discovering what my purpose was in life. You know, that's when it happened. You know, I realized that being strong and shoving people in a locker, you know, and being violent, that's not the way to go. That's when I think that's when my true journey into manhood, you know, that's when my journey of I'm no longer just a male, I become a man. I think that's when it actually kicked in. Not when I went in the Army, you know, not when I was jumping out of planes, you know, not running around in the woods. It happened when when my knowledge kicked in. I started realizing, like, wait a minute, there's more than just, you know, being a dumb jock. You know, there's more to the life than being just a dumb jock. And I think that's when I became a man. You know, I didn't lose all those things. You know, I didn't lose the fact that, you know, jumping out of planes and all that. I didn't lose all that. I just realized there was more, and I could use these things, and I could use my brain, and I could use my emotional maturity, and I could become the perfect or the man that I want to be. And I think that's where my maturity, I think that's where my difference between a male and a man, I think that's where it happened for me.
That's what's up, bro. I'm not quite sure where it happened. I think it was just for me, it was just a slow transition. As I got older, as I became more thoughtful, as I began to read more, as I began to engage more with individuals, talk, I fought my dark instincts, right? I've always had that dark instinct. I tell this to everybody, everyone, we all have angels and demons within us.
Yes.
And as I was coming up, I tended to lean on the demons more than the angels growing up. It was a hard life, and that's what got me through. When I got into the military hones that dark side of you. They have to make you a warrior. You know what I mean? So I was still kind of leaning towards that. We were aggressive. We had to be. We're doing what we had to do. Got out the military, and it began a slow process to come away from that darkness. And like to transition more into the light, to be more of a warrior poet, a thinking man, as opposed to just a hammer, you know, just going out there. What'd you say? Boom. Instead of doing that. And I think that probably in my 30s is when I had that revelation that you had. Probably in my 30s when I began to read Sun Tzu, The Art of War, when I began to read Musashi, The Book of Five Rings, when I began to read other things. Now, this is long before I even knew what the manosphere was, or red pill, blue pill, and all that shit. When I began to study human nature just on my own, this is how people are, not just women. When I began to do that.
Well, you know when I noticed the change when you and I really thought about this now while we were talking. I noticed it. I noticed you were different that night you called me in the middle of the night when you was out. You know,
you can tell a story. You can tell a story.
All right, so this class, I guess it makes you feel like
wait, hold on, wait 1 second. We got to do this right. Yeah, we got to do this right. Jswans is about to tell a story, y'all.
Everybody sit down, please. It's story time. Story time.
Yo, so this cat, you know, he calls me. I mean, it was in the middle of the night sometime, probably like midnight, 1 a.m. I don't know, something like that. It was late. And like out of the blue, like I ain't heard from him in a minute. He calls me up. He's drunk as hell. And he's like, brother, you won. That's how the call starts. Brother, you won. What are you talking about? He's like, you won, man. You got a great woman, and you know, you got a family. You won. You know, and I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, what's going on? You good? You know, I'm like, you good? Like, I'm thinking you getting ready to go, you know, rent a gun and buy a bullet. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm worried. And he's just like, nah, you won. He's going back and forth about it. Just kept repeating it. And I'm like, all right, man, you sure you good? He's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm about to go back to the room and go smash these two chicks right now. But but you won, man. And I hung up the phone like this. Called and told me that he's ready to go smash these two chicks. But I'm thinking about it now, and we've talked about that, off and on over the years. And that was about that time. You know what I mean? That was about that time where you were like, man, and I think that's when I noticed the change, because the way you were moving was.
And you know what that was, bro? Because everybody talks about, body count and all this other kind of stuff, which I don't agree with. But I do agree that men should be experienced when it comes to intimacy, right? But here's the thing: all you guys out there talking about you want to get baddies, you want to spin plates, you want to have all these chicks. I call it running rotations. That life gets old, bro. And that night was the night that I realized that I wasted the majority of my adult life, right? Because my brother, because he was in the streets like I was in the streets, he meets this amazing woman, and his life veers off this way. I'm not saying it was perfect pie in the sky, just down the third, but look at where he is now. Look at where they are. Look at where they are now. And I look at where I am. And it was that night that I realized that just keeping it 100, running around smashing chicks was bullshit. Yeah, I'm good at it. But so what? I can't tell you how many times I was sick and some chick that I'm just smashing, she ain't going to come over and nurse you back. You know what I'm saying? She ain't going to come over and cook you a meal. She ain't going to drop what she's doing and go, go take care of your stuff for you. If you just smashing, she ain't going to do that. You know what I mean? Your significant other will, your wife will. Yeah. You know what I mean? I can't tell you how many stories I have of brothers that I kick it with that are married, and they tell me these stories of what their wives had done for them, and just like really small little anecdotal things, but it means so much to these guys. Like, man, I just can't believe it. And I had opportunities. I had good women, but I was just, no, I'm gonna go out here and smash and do this down the third and whatever. And that night is the night I realized it was all bullshit. It was all bullshit. Now, if that's what you want to go do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not here to tell you not to. You know what I mean? Did I have fun smashing chicks? Yeah, that night. Yo, Saint, for real, DL, did you smash 2 chicks? Yes, I did. You know what I mean? I did that night. You know what I mean? But look at me. Look at me. I'm in a loft on YouTube talking shit with one of my buddies, and he has this great life. My life is good, but I don't have anyone to share with. When I was on the Great Wall of China, I was by myself. When I was, in Japan holding on to one of the stores that Musashi owned, right? I'm like, this is one of the stores. I was by myself. When I was in London on the Eye, I was by myself. When I go to these great restaurants, right, and I go to these great places and do these great things, it's just me.
But hold on, let me clarify that. Now, he's not physically alone. Yeah, usually he's with somebody or he's with some girl. I think what he's getting at is like, he's not with somebody that he knows is going to give to him like he would give to her. Because this man here, like I said, if he's with a woman, if they are together, he ain't spinning plates. You know what I mean? He ain't running a rotation. That's just how he is. He's all in.
That's true. I've never cheated in my life, ever. I've never done that. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, so he's not. So when he says he's alone in these places, he's not alone physically. I think he's alone emotionally and mentally alone. And there's a definite difference in that. And if you don't know the difference, that's part of that. You're still a male trying to become a man.
Yes.
You got to sit back and think about it. And, because I can tell you, I've had girlfriends, but I've only had one wife. I've only been in love with one woman. And that's real. I thought I was in love, oh, this girl's amazing. I love her, whatever. Mm-hmm. Love is when you're mad at somebody and, you want to lay on the other side of the bed with your lip poked out, but you don't want them to leave. That's right. Love.
You don't want them to go nowhere. You want to see them. Love is when something goes wrong, the only thing you want to do is be with that person. Yeah. That person. No one else. I don't want to be with my mommy. I don't want to be with my daddy. I want to be with my love, my significant other. That's the only person who's going to make it better.
Yeah. So that's real. So don't think that he's out of these places by himself. It ain't like that. He's just not emotional. And I've seen it. Like I said, I've seen him with different women. And, and you can see it. And quietly, he won't even bring women around us. Because one, my wife is, she can be difficult in her vetting process.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. As she should.
As long as she's known me. So, she definitely is like, nah.
Absolutely, y'all. So, and again, I'm not passing judgment or anything, man. That was a fun phase of my life. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah. It was great. I got so many stories, bro. Like I could tell you stories of me going into a bar, right, and smashing the shot girl in the bar. I could tell you stories like that, bro. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. It all means nothing. It means nothing at the end of the day, bro. Is you just bust one. So what? So
X
what?
said it, right? That was X. You gave you, I gave, you gave you gave me. But you
Bro.
won't.
It is what it is. So all I'm saying, fellas, is you want to be on the path to becoming a man. And once you become a man, it's a constant battle. It's just not, it doesn't stop. There's always room for improvement as a man. And that was where, like he said, that's when I began to understand that I can improve as a man. You know what I mean? And I've done my best ever since then. Right. But I mean, it's a lot. I get y'all, the red pill world, spinning plates and exercising options and all this da. Man, be careful what you asking for, bro. Be careful. You just might get it.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I mean? And any man out there who is really good at womanizing, who has a really deep rotation, spins a lot of plates, you sit down and talk to that guy, he'll tell you this shit gets old. That man is looking for a relationship. Real talk. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. You know what I mean? Brother Doug is like, I can relate. I bet you can.
Yo,
you know what I mean?
He had a question, man. Or they had a question.
Huh? Who?
The last one.
Oh, no, that was Snuggles. Just we'll go all the way back up to
Snuggles.
This was Snuggles' first question right here. I would like you all to go deeper into human instincts and how much humans have detached from their nature, making their existence harder to harder to comprehend.
I thought it was something about polygamy.
Oh no, they were just kind of going back and forth. Brother Viking was talking to Snuggles. They're just kind of going back and forth. And then this one right here. Do any of you gentlemen think you have the ability to be polygamous, or is it something that is not within your nature to be? Oh, this is the one you were talking about right here.
Yeah.
I mean, here's my take on that.
Yeah.
This is going back to the whole exercising options and stuff like that. So we'll use Myron Gaines from Fresh and Fit because that's the one who gets the most traction with what he says. What he says is it takes a lot of work for a man to become sexually attractive to women. And most women only want the best male. So in order you build yourself up to be the best male, to make yourself sexually attractive to women, right? And then once you do that, because it takes decades to do it. It is really hard work. Once you do it, Myron says you'll be a fool not to have multiple women. It doesn't make sense to do all that work and you're going to be with one person, right? If you want to live that life, if you want to exercise options, that's fine. And one other thing I'll say about that platform, Fresh and Fit platform, they also say, be a man, have balls, have courage, and tell that woman up front, this is how it's going to work. You're going to be my wife, my main woman. I'm going to give you all my provisioning, security. I'm willing to die for you, right? I'm going to come home to you every night. However, I'm going to be out here smashing these other chicks. Let her tell you yes or no. As opposed to what these males do when they run out here and they lie to the women at home and then they go out there and they smash all these other girls, right? So I do respect that point. Be upfront. Now, I don't want to live that. So when you talk about our nature, men are built to spread their seed far and wide. And I think that in modern times, men, they do their best to subdue that urge. You know what I mean? So, but I'm not that guy. But I'm not knocking the guys who do it. If you want to go out there and have a bunch of women, so long as you are honorable and you telling your women, everybody involved what's going on and they agree to it, then go ahead and do you. But if you out there lying, that's bullshit.
See, I got a different take on it. If
go ahead.
If you're just dating chicks and you do whatever, tell them what you want, whatever, you don't care about them. But if you're in a committed relationship with a woman and you truly love that woman, like you say you love that woman, then you will do everything in your power not to hurt that woman. Okay. And as far as it being in someone's nature, everybody's different. Every man is different. I don't even see other women. You know, I mean, I don't. You know, I mean, I walk past.
But they see him.
But I just walk. Other women, they're not even on my radar. You know, and I treat them all with respect. So, you know, I mean, they're not even on my radar because what's most important to me, once again, my purpose in life is to ensure that my wife is happy, to make her happy, to take care of her. That's my ultimate purpose in life. So for me, it feels instinctual. You know, it's not a thing. You know, to other men, I don't know. But I don't subscribe to this, you know, you put on all this work. So now you got to go out there and, you know, you got to spread your seed. You know, you did all this work. So now, you know, it wouldn't be right for you to keep yourself to one woman. I'm like, please, if you did all this work to get the right woman, to make yourself the best man, to get the best woman that you can find, then you've got your prize. Why do you need to go out and do all this stuff? Why do you need to go out and have multiple women? Why do you need to go out and spread your seed? You know, you got your prize. You did all the work. You worked really hard. You got the trophy. There's no point in that. You know, and to me, any man that feels that, you know, now that I've worked hard, I need to have multiple women. But I'll be honest, I'll tell you that I'm cheating on you. I'll tell you that I'm sleeping with other people. It's up to you to make the decision, which it is. If she sticks around, then that tells you what that woman's worth. And if you're a high value man and you got a woman that's willing to share you with multiple women, you ain't really a high value man. And you don't have a high value woman. Yeah.
And that's where we disagree. You know, people look at us, they look at like, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that at all. I know how hard it is to build yourself up to be, you know, to get women to want to come for you. I get that. And for those dudes who spin the plates and do that, so long as they're honest and upfront, go ahead and do what you do. But I mean, I don't agree with that last little bit that Jswan said. I'm like, to each his own. You know what I mean? But I can see both mindsets. I see exactly what he's talking about, and I respect that. I really do. You know what I mean? Because I'm closer to that world. If I meet a woman to get married, I'm not going to mess around. That's the only woman I want. You know what I mean? So I'm closer to that world. But I'm not going to sit back and tell Myron or Fresh or Brother Viking or whoever, or, you know, Brother Doug, Dr. B, or I'm not going to tell y'all wrong for having a rotation. Just so long as you're upfront and honest about it. That's my thing. You know what I mean? Be an honorable man and tell these women up front, this is what it's going to be.
Yeah, because I'll tell anybody, I'm like, but this is, these are my beliefs. And that part of being a man is, if you believe something, put it out there, and I'll tell everybody now, I believe that, once again, I'm religious. I'm not over the top. I'm not dancing in the streets and holding snakes, but I believe that, God put me here for a purpose. He gave me a partner for a purpose, and I'm going to honor that woman and do the best I can before him and the Lord. So, and that's just how I am. There's no other woman that can compare to my wife. So why would I even want to even look at another woman? I won the prize. I did the work. I became that hot commodity when I was young. So I did the work, and she and I, we matured together as adults. We've worked together to build who we are individually and as a family, as a couple. And I wouldn't risk any of that, for another woman. And if my wife was willing to accept me with other women, then you know what? Maybe she's not the woman that I thought she was, because I thought she had more value in herself. And that's just how I am.
Yeah, and that's important. That's important to him. That's part of it.
That's me. That's right. Me now. You know what I mean? Like, if y'all want to spin plates and chase multiple women, obviously y'all didn't get none when you was younger. So I guess you need to figure it out when you're like 50. But
hey, all bullshit aside though, but seriously though, that's the big part. That's a big part of that. Most men don't most men don't have sexual access like that, bro. And that's a big part of it. So they finally get to the point where women are interested in them and they go crazy. And that goes
crazy. Okay, so wait. What you're saying is that these dudes that do stuff like that, they like the little 13-year-old girls all boy crazy over, like, I don't know, like NSYNC or whatever when we was young. That's what these dudes, that's what these 50-year-old men are acting like.
Bro, I started thinking about, like, hold on, man. We said this the other night, man. I started smashing when I was 15 years old, bro. 15. 15 years old. Think about that, bro. Think about what we were doing in the military. We ain't bragging or nothing like that, but were we ever at a point where we were lacking, female companionship?
No, ever. We had a lot of attention.
Now, a lot of attention. That is not the normal, my brother. That's all I'm trying to say. So you got these guys who finally get, like, 35, 45, 55 years old, they've made themselves into something that women find attractive, they lose their mind. Again, just so long as they're honest and upfront. Do what you're gonna do.
Okay, you know what? I guess the old thing is right about women being more mature than guys, maturing faster.
Yeah, absolutely.
They went through that at like 14 through 16 years old, and these dudes are like, "Wait a minute, I'm a hot commodity now. I done got myself a good job, and I can go to the Denny's and leave a $20 tip,
Or I could go to Mr. Child's and leave $100 tip on top of it. You know what I mean? Or I could go to a Salt Bay restaurant and spend $10,000 on dinner. And it's like, to them, it opens doors they never knew existed. And these women come flooding out. Now I ain't talking about high quality women, just all women.
I was gonna say, which is funny because we talked about that. Like, I'd rather go to some mom and pop spot in the hood. I don't be trying to be, that's funny to me though. But
it is funny, and it's hard. And it's hard for people who have that access their whole life to turn around and see someone who didn't. Like, this is not that difficult. And for us, it wasn't. For whatever reason, it wasn't that difficult. But we had certain characteristics and qualities. I tell you what, we didn't have. We didn't have money. You know what I mean? But we had not a dime, but we had certain characteristics and qualities that women found attractive, and we were able to do our thing. The majority of men don't get that, bro. And I'm just being 100. The majority of women aren't even seen by women. The majority of men, they don't have the socials. They don't have the social skills. They might be short. They might be fat. They're awkward. They're weird. All these things. And if it takes them, until they're 45 years old to sort all that out, and then they start getting access, they're going to try to smash as many women as I did. And I started when I was in my teens. They're going to try to get as many, if not more, from the time that they're 45 until the time that they joystick don't work no more.
I would just say, I hope not. I hope, I would hope that men in our age bracket would be more mature than that. I really do.
Bro, watch Melanie King. Watch Melanie King's show. You see these old ass dudes. These old dudes trying to holler at her, bro.
You be saying
shout out to Melanie. Hey, Melanie, if you're watching, I love you. You know I love you. But I ain't trying to do all that. These dudes, you want to see simping, y'all? If y'all want to see simping tonight around, I think she goes on around 6 or 7 o'clock. Go watch Melanie King. Lord have mercy, is the worst thing in the world. Man, matter of fact, we ain't even got to wait till then. I got some shit already loaded up.
That's right. You had that clip from earlier.
Yeah, let me back this up. This dude, I'm about to show y'all some shit. Jswans, I'm here to tell you. Bro. And it's nothing against these men, but once Myron Gaines has this. It's nothing against these men. Look at the whole world get to see me and you go at it. Listen, bro, what the fuck you talking about? It's nothing to do with these men.
I don't like these dudes, man.
I mean,
I be wanting to hug some of these, man. You send me these clips of these guys, I be just wanting to hug them. Like, come here.
I be wanting to punch them. Like, get your shit together, man. You know what I mean? Because you ain't gonna smash. You go over there and get, Jswans to give you a hug and send you on your way. I'm trying to beat you up and show you how to, I'm gonna show you how to do it. You need some game, bro. Stop being a fucking weirdo.
Like, look, if you've ridden the short bus your whole life, I mean, what can you do? Like, you can't.
Take the damn helmet off. Take the damn helmet off. I'm gonna show you how to do this, bro. Hey, Snuggles got a message here for you, Jswans, man. Can you read it? Or you want me to read? Can you see that?
Go ahead and read it, man, because I'm lazy.
This Snuggles 666. I enjoy looking at this friendship the both of you have. The fact that you all are not in an echo chamber is very refreshing to listen to, and it shows how human beings can get along. Thank you.
That's because DL knows I'm always right. That's why. And once he realized that, the relationship got good. When he struggled, look, I got the knife hand out and shit because I'm serious.
Hey man, I got something for you, bro. What you saying right now? All I got to say to all this is this.
I didn't know they stacked shit that high.
That's all I got to say about that.
The reason we so cool is because I remember this cat when he was drinking E&J like it was the stuff. And when we was on the high end, when we had on payday, we got Christian Brothers because that was $6 a bottle.
Yo, Jswans was there. We was drinking that Boone's Farm, bro. Woo. All bullshit aside, drinking that Boone's Farm.
Was there for the jammy jams, boy.
Hey, I'm just trying to tell y'all, man. And this is a thing too. Do you see why You see why I've been around this man for 30 years. He's not going to tell me what I want to hear. He's not going to echo what I have to say. We're going to sit there and we're going to challenge each other. And y'all have no idea. Like, we're having fun now. But y'all ain't, you need to see when we get at it. We get at it.
That's because he don't understand that I'm right.
I give him credit. He was right one time. One time he was right. We were on the jump. We were on the jump, and he was like, we shouldn't jump. Something bad's going to happen. We got on the bird, and the damn thing almost crashed. And that's the one time he was right. Hey. Right? Moments before we're about to crash and burn, this man is sitting there laughing like, I told y'all. Everybody else scared to death. Everybody else, the entire C-130, all of 64 of us back there, scared shitless. And here he is. I told y'all. We shouldn't be on this jump.
Bro, I made my peace before we got on the bird. That's why I was like, I'm good.
I said I was finna die. I was finna die. And this man, the whole jump. And listen, when I say I was leaning on him, he way bigger than me. I'm smacking him in the head like, you sound like a little punk. I was using other words that ain't YouTube friendly. But think of all the words you ain't supposed to say. I was saying all those words, punching him, shoving him, smacking him in the head. Quit, shut up. What, your vagina hurting? Stop it. And we got on that plane. We got on that plane. He just like, what? We got on that plane because I would do all that. And all he would say is like, man, I'm telling you, we should not be on this jump. That's all he would say. Then we get in the back of that bird. We took off, and it couldn't have been no more than, what, a minute?
15 minutes? It wasn't long, bro.
Yes, it wasn't long. Next thing you know, they start doing some wild shit, saying things you ain't supposed to say in an airborne world. If we open the door, just jump, use a reserve. What?
Just get out.
What? All this confusion in the back of the bird going on. We all looked at each other like, what the fuck? Jump masters are screaming. Our senior NCOs are screaming. They're trying to get doors open. And this man's sitting there smiling, kind of like he's sitting there right now. I told you.
I made my peace. I was like, I know where I'm going.
I told you. It's like, I told you, knowing I'm a heathen. I'm going straight to hell. This C-130 is going to just crash through the ground, just stay on it all the way down the hill, be landing there right next to the devil. Y'all should have listened to Jswans.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That was and then look, Snuggles has been active in the chat. Doug is like, DL saying, I retract my previous comment. Snuggles is a troll. We love you, Snuggles.
The check is in the mail. Good looking out.
We love you, Snuggles. It's all good, girl. We love you. You know what I'm saying? One of these days you're gonna tell me where you from. I keep asking questions like, where you from? What part of the world? I'm trying to find out. Little by little, I'm gonna find out. But yeah. And Miss AKA, that was a powerful statement about not wanting a woman who will accept a cheater. Don't hear that from men often.
That's me.
That's real talk. And Miss AKA, I hear what you're saying. I would push back on the word cheater. It's not cheating if you agreed to it.
No, it's not. But well, I guess you could switch it out with a woman knows her worth. You know what I mean? I want a woman that knows her worth. Because if she knows her worth, then she knows my worth and she values me. So I mean, that's my thing though. Because I know my wife would not be with no buster. You know what I'm saying? She wouldn't be with no loser. She would not allow that.
Yeah. And your people, how do I pronounce it? Shani? Shani. In my opinion, men should appreciate quality over quantity. Yeah, and I was as a woman. Yeah, as a guy, guys want. You know what I mean? They want what do you call it? They want variety. You know what I mean? Guys, it's one of those things. They want. I'm not lying. It's just if the average dude could have as many women as he wanted, or just have the one woman like Jswans, the average dude would take as many women, you know what I mean, as he wanted. You know what I mean? It's like if you can have a wife that's going to be loyal to you and be a dutiful wife and do all that, but she is going to allow you, she's okay with you going out and smashing women whenever you want, or you just have a monogamous relationship with the same wife, which one would you choose? And in both scenarios, the wife is okay with it. In both scenarios, most guys would probably choose going out there and this is why. Because they don't know what it's like. They don't understand. You feel me? Certain men understand, like, man, spinning plates, man, whatever. It gets old. But a lot of guys don't realize that. And they want to go out and they want to, I can sit here and say, well, you shouldn't go out there and spin plates, which would be hypocritical because I went out there and spin plates. I had them all. You know what I mean? 8 to 80, 18 to 80, blind, crippled, and crazy. You know what I mean? I've had them all. Skinny, fat, you know what I mean? Fine, short, tall. I've had them all. You know what I mean? But what do I say to the dude that's never had that?
Well, my thing is this, man. Like I said, guys always worried about, and I mentioned this before, always worried about having this, this nice car, this nice jewelry or whatever, right? This nice watch being flashy. The most valuable asset you have, the most impressive thing that a man can have is a woman by his side that loves him, a quality woman that sees only him, that people around can see her value. They can see it. They can feel it. Like I said, my wife walks in a room, they can see her value. They know that she's important. They know she knows her worth. And when people see that, that is the most amazing, most wonderful. That's the thing that everybody will notice and everybody will remember, and your woman that is like, okay, go ahead and sleep with other people. As long as I get to live in the house, as long as I get to drive the nice cars, she's attractive, but she's not, she's just another trick. You know what I mean? But a woman that knows her worth, there is nothing more precious. There is nothing more amazing to see. And one day I hope that everybody, like I said, D, he sees it. He sees when Naya walks around, people stop. You know what I mean? And it's always been like that. This ain't nothing new. You know what I mean? It's always been like that. Naya walks around, people stop because she demands respect, from everybody, including her husband. So, I mean, I think that's the difference. I think that's what a lot of men or males don't see. And, and not everybody's going to get that because not every woman presents that. So, yes, there are guys out there that, they get a piece of cake. Like, oh, this cake is good. So now I want to eat all the cake in the world.
I want to eat all the cake. I want to eat all the pie. I want to eat all the, you know what I mean? I want to eat all the M&Ms.
Exactly. But some of us, hey, man, it cannot get any better than this. So I'm
some of us, because we had the cake, we had the pie, we had the M&Ms. Do you see where I'm coming from, bro?
Yeah, most def. I mean, I feel you. I mean, like I said, we've had these conversations on many occasions, and like I said, I've never been a Fresh and Fit fan. It's just not my thing, and it's something that, you enjoy and you listen to their philosophies and you take what you want and you throw out what you don't. And that's, once again, that's part of being a man. I mean, like we can disagree. We can disagree on things. We don't have to do that bullshit. I agree to disagree. No, I just don't like it.
I just don't like it. I just don't fucking like it. And you know what? And that's what we do. And I'll get with this brother right here. We'll have conversations. And we'll get to the end when he beats me. Sometimes he does win, not all the time. Sometimes he'll beat me, and I'll say this.
See, you can't even get it out.
You know what? That makes me mad.
You know what I mean? I'll say that, but then that's the end of it. It ain't like I'm mad at him.
I said that before we even got online. I was doing it.
And you just deal with it like, he got me. He won this round, whatever. And look, Snug, I told you, here's my favorite troll. I know you live in West Tampa.
Do you really? Is that where you live?
It doesn't matter. Hey, Snuggles, look, don't run up on me. Right. And I don't know you coming. If you run up on me, because it could get loud, it could turn into something crazy. It could be, if you run up on me and you start on me, it could be this. So be careful. So what you knew is when you run up on me, you got to say the password. You got to say the running password. Pip squack. Pip squack, and I won't fire.
Hey, Snuggles, just know, what I mean, he got Overwatch, and I'm really good.
Yeah, he's really good. He's really good, Snuggles.
Google it.
If you don't know what Overwatch is, definitely Google it. Like you said, you see what's behind me. We ain't gonna talk about what's at his house. You see what's behind me. We ain't gonna talk about what he got. So
reach out and touch you on Mars. Trust me.
Snuggles like, don't worry, Kennedy's a long street. Yeah, and that thing right there got a long range. Yeah. But yo, what's up? It seems like Snuggles. Hey, hit me up though, Snuggles. If you're around, man, it'd be just a female. If you're around, it'd be nice to hang out, answer some of your questions. But I got Overwatch. I got Overwatch. So listen, we wanted to show this real quick.
Your white look like a football.
Bro, this guy right here. So this guy called in right away. He's basically calling in to shoot his shot. He wants to holler at Melanie King. And she started off, letting him say what he had to say. And she started asking him questions.
Before you play this video, why he got his name hyphen? Because he took his wife's name?
Probably. Probably, bro. Like that is, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like these guys, they need help, bro. If they go to red pill or whatever, but this guy right here, he is
You big dummy.
That's that dude right there, man.
That's what that's what he look like.
That's what he looks like, bro.
Look, she got to look at her face right now like this. How he?
Oh, because this is where the conversation turned. This is where she called him lying. She was just breaking down his story. So let's watch a little bit of this, y'all. This guaranteed to be funny.
Okay, but you said you guys. What year did y'all break up?
Well, so me and
see what happened was
So, what year did y'all? No, just give me the year.
Okay, so
just say the year.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out what the year is. 2020.
2 years.
Okay,
ago.
So you guys ended in 2020.
We didn't end.
I mean, so
we didn't end. We just tried to do the.
When did the relationship end?
Tuesday.
2021.
2021.
Yeah.
The math is still not mathing. So if you started dating her in 2022, y'all were together. I mean 2012.
2012.
Y'all were together for 10 years. That would be 2020.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so let's. But you
2021 it was final.
Were you married? What do you mean final?
No. The last year, 2021, was when our relationship ended.
See,
look at his face, bro. See what happened was, bro.
See, this one need to be like, girl, I'm just trying to get them draws.
Right.
The GTDs, girl. GTD, girl.
So what's up?
Like, what does GTD mean? What does it mean? Say it. Get the draws.
Get the draws.
Get the draws, girl.
I'm trying to make your toes curl up like this here, girl. What's going on? And it was just like so, but let's watch a little bit more of it because this was painful.
Man.
Because she moved to Seattle.
Right. That's all I want to know is when it permanently ended. Anything else before that does not. I don't. It's not a marriage. It's not a separation.
Right.
So what I'm saying is it's still not mathing, and it's you've. If you're saying it's so you said 2020, but you ended in 2021. That means you.
No. She moved to Seattle.
Right. So I'm trying to, you know what I mean? No, baby. What really had happened was.
Bro, this is when you start crumpling up the paper, talking about you're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Right. Start hitting, you know what I mean? Start shaking the camera. Oh, it's an earthquake. There's an earthquake. Oh, it's an earthquake. Hey, nigga, you live in Tampa. Ain't no damn earthquake.
Look at it. I mean, look at her face, though. She's like this.
Yeah, so watch this. So this is, and then this, watch this part here.
Let it add. Hold on. There it is. Lord Jesus, this is StreamYard. Get it together. I already read that. That was from you, DL. Your boy.
Yeah, that was from me.
And I ain't got no super chats, so we will go to members only. I guys remember I said if I don't have super chats, my members tonight we're gonna cut straight to a. We're gonna cut straight.
Why she cut
the after party?
Why she cut
Don't go to members only. You've been done kick me out. Say what now?
Why she cut off Uncle Greg?
I need my Popeye money. I need my Popeye money. Hold on.
With the story out.
Hold on. No, she gave up on dude. She was like basically screw him. She was like I ain't got time. Like he got mad at the end because she was like, look, I done caught you in a lie. If I go back and rewatch this, I'll probably catch you in more lies. So she was asking me what I thought. You know, I came on and I wound up asking her about masculinity and stuff like that. But it was just funny. Hold on, I think she asked me about that dude. What you think I did join. What you think the super chats are for? Do the math.
What you think about what you think about my read on Homie?
You was spot on. You know what I mean? My brother lost track of the mission. The mission was to holler at you, right? That was the mission, right? I'm military, right? You know. My thing is this: mission first, stay on mission. I'm military, so if your mission is to holler at you, then he should have been on here like this. Holla, holla, holla. That's all it should have been. It shouldn't have been none of this.
DL. Let's be honest. You thought we were a match?
Yes.
We ain't talking about a match. You gonna holler? You gonna shoot your shot? Shoot it. Okay. Shoot it. Get some.
Wait.
We gonna do it.
I mean, this is
So I went on to talk about people being weird and stuff like that. And, you know, just stuff that we talk about on this platform. But shout out to Melanie King. You know what I mean? Shout out, Mel.
She looks so disgusted. Like,
oh, bro.
She's like, really? Like this? Like, no, this is the look she has is this ninja.
This Negro. This Negro.
To even voice his opinion toward me.
Like, who the hell? And then there was another dude. There was two dudes on here that I saw. I was like jumping on and off. There was another guy on here who literally asked for her number on this platform.
Really?
And I mean, you want to watch something painful. She shot him down, boy, like a stinger. She shot him down like a Stinger missile, boy. Just, it was these dudes. I don't know what these guys are thinking. But it goes to my point. These men, right? These men, they've never really had sexual access. They're calling in so they can talk to a beautiful woman, point blank, period. Because normally, someone like a woman that looks as attractive as this woman here, Melanie King, she ain't gonna talk to them guys. They don't have any game.
That's why they go to the strip clubs.
This is cheaper. This is cheaper than the strip club.
Yeah, wow. That's hilarious,
right. And then like Snuggles is saying, you see me throwing my shots. Nah, I don't.
Nah, he would put more work in if he was doing that.
Nah, it's no shot. It's just me talking to her as fellow YouTubers. It's just normal conversation.
I've seen the shots go. They go like this. They go like this. Hey, how you doing? Please. All right. So how you doing?
Right. Off to the next one. Think I'm playing. I will holler at you. Oh, you got the slightest attitude. If I don't like the way you blink, I'm moving to the next one.
Be looking at the watch. You know it's 1:30. Yeah, okay.
Know what it is. Know what it is. You know what I mean? And she's like, what Snuggles is saying, you're throwing your shots in a covert operation. You are very intentional. I'm very strategic. I am impressed with how you are moving. Thank you, but you haven't seen me move. You haven't seen me move.
This ain't even it. This ain't even okay.
Yeah.
You know what that is? That's the difference. Like, they don't understand males versus men. You just being nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I see it as you just being nice. You just laughing and joking with somebody, a friend.
Yep. I'm being respectful. Yep.
Yes, I've seen you holler. It's a whole nother animal.
Yeah. When I come gunning, I talk so much shit. I need a bib, like one of those, like, lobster bibs. I got to tie my bib on because it's gonna come.
You can hear D chambering around.
Click, click. He about to get it. About to get it. So no, I'm not trying to holler at her.
Want to know how we were trying to holler? Like, we used to walk up to women and take their drinks. Like, what you drinking? What you sipping on? Hold on. There was no question of what the mission is. There's no question whatsoever.
None whatsoever.
You'll feel, you get that tingle in the back of your leg, like, oh.
Yeah. And like, if you have game, if you know what you're doing, man, screw all that. You don't need money. You don't need to be 6 feet. You don't need to be all like muscled up. All you need is you need game. You know how to talk to women is on. You know what I mean? It's on. Day one is on. Like I say, and he'll tell you, all those women that gave me a little attitude and I went right to their friend, I smashed a friend and then double back and smashed the one that had the attitude.
Holler back at her later.
It don't matter. Like, if you're really talking about running game, you know what I mean? If you're really talking about being top tier dude, and what I mean by top tier is smashing a bunch of women without money, I can show you the way.
Hey,
but all I'm saying is it's empty.
So Snuggle, when you figure this out, you can move to the next level.
You can move to the next. And Snuggles female, but Snuggles female. I probably know Snuggles. We probably met somewhere. You know what I mean? I probably know Snuggles. We're gonna see. We're gonna figure it out. But yeah, we're gonna end right there, y'all. This has been fun, but getting back to the topic, right? Men versus males, right? I'm talking to the men out there right now. We have to help these young males get their shit together, man. We have to sort these dudes out. You know what I mean? Whatever it takes. And just like you guys saw on this stream today, me and Jswans don't agree with everything, but we do agree that men need to step up. These young males need to step up and become men.
That's real. You know what I mean? That's real. And part of it is you got to know what you need. You got to feel what you need and you got to gravitate towards it. And us as men, we have to tell these males when they're wrong, not to shove them in the locker. But, hey, brother, you wrong for that. There's another way, and guide them in that direction. You know what I mean? That's how we got to do it. It's not all about getting that bag getting as many chicks as you want. I mean, smashing as many chicks you possibly can. That's not what. Those are the byproducts of, I guess, manhood. But those 5 core principles that we put up on that screen earlier, that's what it's about. The honor, the respect, the integrity. I mean, those are the cornerstones to manhood. And I think a lot of young men are missing that.
And I agree wholeheartedly. It's just one of those things, y'all. It's just one of those things. So yeah, that's the show. That's part 2. That's how we got to get down. I can't even follow that up. Jswans nailed that shit. I can't even say nothing else, man. So men,
that's how we always are.
Yeah, each one teach one. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, you are. So we have to help these young males become men and hold them to account. Teach them the way, and then hold them accountable. Thank y'all so much for coming out. Han's in the house. What's good, brother? Welcome. I appreciate it. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks to everybody who was here. Snuggles, you know what I mean? Our resident troll. Thank you so much, love. I'm so glad you're here. And again, I mean that with love. That's just my little my pet name for you. My little troll, Snuggles 668. Miss AKA Lady, Wonderful One, Brother Viking, Brother Jason. Sister Candace was in the house tonight. Or today, I should say. Speaking of tonight, I got another show coming up at 6:30. We're going to be talking about cyborgs. We're going to be talking about human cyborgs, and where science and medical science has gotten to the point now where cyborg is a real thing, y'all. I got some lined up for y'all, and it's great. I hope to see y'all at 6:30 right here. Brother Viking, brother Doug, thank y'all so much for coming out. Dr. B in the house.
I will be having margaritas like an adult.
Well, I'll be working. I ain't mad at you. I'll be working.
We're talking about cyborgs. I'm gonna be having margaritas with my wife and some friends.
Yeah, I might be like,
get out the house.
I might be sipping on a little Hennessy or whatever. You know what I mean? Like Miss AKA Lady was in the house. You know what I mean? Queen Nail was in the house. Thank you so much. Candace M was in here tonight. Brother Muhammad, thank you guys so much. For anybody I missed, it's getting good. It's getting to a point where I can't even see everybody that was in. So we're growing. We're growing, y'all. We're growing because of y'all, man. Thank you so much. This over here, this is Jswans. I'm DL Saint. This is the DL Saint I Really Want to Know podcast. We'll talk to y'all later.
Love y'all. I'm out.
Peace.
Darn, that's the end.